Mhm.
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday.
Hello.
As you can see, we have our good friend Dustin from Keto Simple joining us on this Friday. We hope everyone has had an amazing week. And as the usual, my partner in crime, Cindy, is here, and I'm finally here for once. I've had so much going on between my appointments, work, and then obviously a power outage last Friday, which is definitely new fun, especially in Florida. To be without power means you're without air condition, and that is no fun. Here, Dustin's reminding any questions for us, definitely go ahead and drop them. We'll be more than happy to answer them for you.
Jaheel.
So it's going to leave this comment before you can even go, oh, and can't join the live. Well, that is okay. We need to have a little spontaneity to us. Can't be average.
This is
Average
Kate
and
from Low
normal.
Carb Spin.
Hello, hello. Safe drive home for you.
Yes.
Here we have Lynette, always coming through with some support.
Hey, Lynn, how are you?
Good
Should be fun with
evening.
you three all-stars. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
We appreciate the love. Here we have Sherry. Hi, guys. Jim and I are eating a creamy and ready for the show. So, Cindy, with this mentioning of a creamy, what are you having for dinner?
Um, the cheese, egg life wraps on top with taco like Hope does.
Oh,
That's what
okay,
we're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
have. No ice cream.
No
I've
creamy
been
in
really
store. Oh,
limiting that.
no.
I've been limiting it right now because I've been doing carnivore with keto chow, but not
Oh,
as
okay,
much
okay.
keto chow.
Yeah, because even here,
So
Lynn's also eating a creamy.
yeah, Lynn. Yeah, yeah. I had like
Amy.
a third of one last night after my dinner, with my dinner.
Hello, Amy, first time viewer.
Hi,
Welcome,
Amy.
welcome. Love first time viewers.
Yes.
If you have any questions at all, I can definitely tell you all three of us on this panel are non-judgmental. Definitely, this is a safe space. So any questions you have, definitely.
I just
All of
judged
us
Cindy.
are. That's because you and Cindy have actually met multiple times in person. So
No way.
that's why the two of you nitpick with each other like
No
family.
way. He is my bonus son because he
Yes, but
calls
that's
me
what
his
I'm
bonus
saying.
mom.
But that
So
is what I'm saying because the both of you nitpick with each other like family.
gotta.
She, I sent her pictures from a show I was at last night, and she laughed at me.
Oh my
Because,
goodness.
like, what the heck are you listening to, dude?
Good
That
stuff.
ain't my kind of stuff.
I hear you.
Well, everyone can't be the same in this
It
world.
would be
Otherwise,
weird
the
if it
world
was,
No
would be
way.
though.
boring.
Do
If
what?
Cindy was like, "Yeah, two mold, woo," I'd be like, "What?"
I'd be like, who? I don't even know a lot of the bands from in the 70s. I like name that tune last year at KPL. If they do it again this year, I'm out. I'm leaving the room. I'll go over to
Oh
the
my
other.
goodness.
No, can't do it. I didn't like it. Not doing it.
Did you know she was such a big stick in the mud?
I don't know
About
artist
music
and
I didn't
song
know.
titles. I do not know them. I might know the song
But
once it
I
comes
bet you
on.
if it was country she would know.
No, I've never been one to know what who the
Not even
artist is
country?
and what the
Oh
song
my
titles are,
gosh.
but I
Cindy,
could sing along
wow.
with the songs.
Do you sing the correct lyrics though?
Yeah,
Or the ones you
most of
think you're
them.
hearing?
Most of them. It depends on the song.
Hello, Jen. Welcome, welcome. Good evening to you as well. Oh, Sherry, cookies and cream with Aldi keto cookies mixed in. Oh,
That
okay.
Those
just
are
sounds
really good cookies. I mean, they're. I mean, I can't remember what looking at the ingredients, but I want to say
Hmm.
they're relatively clean for what you're
Hmm.
paying. I think they're like $3 a bag.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I purchased some for our kids over here. I mean, for what it is, I would definitely say it's definitely a lot cheaper than some of the other options out there brand wise.
I like to mix
Hello,
in
Evelyn.
the different
Evelyn.
chocolate chips. Hey, Debbie.
Deb is here. I'm here. Let the party begin. Yes, yes, yes. Good evening, PhD friends. Hello, Jeff.
Hello,
Hello,
Sean.
all. Welcome, welcome.
Hello,
My, my buddy
everyone.
Juan he is in Vietnam.
Oh my goodness.
I think I don't know, he might be in the States right now, but he goes back and forth, but he's usually in Vietnam. I
Oh
think he's in
wow,
Da Nang.
welcome.
I need to get over there.
Welcome and nice to meet you.
Yes, it
Hello,
definitely is.
Lisa. First time catching Sana live. Oh yes. Is it because I've been absent here and there or first time?
That's because you've been absent. She's been here.
Hello, all back from New York. Okay, and ready for my next trip.
But you're
Where
excused
is your
from
next
your
trip gonna
absences.
be? Thank you. Principal.
Sean wants to know, how was the show last night, Dustin?
Well, there were the two local supports are really awesome. They're called Obscene and Ritual. Obscene just dropped their third record, and Ritual's just kind of coming out of the gate. But they used to be basically this band called Demiricus, and they had 2 or 3 records out. They were on Metal Blade, I think, and then Horrendous was the support act that was on the tour package, and
They
then Two
probably are
Mold.
horrendous.
You know
Oh,
what?
geez.
Anyway, Two
Oh my
Mold was
goodness.
the headliner, and it was weird. If you would have saw these guys, you would never have guessed the kind of music they play because they look like they were like the nerdy camp counselors at like a like a weird camp. I don't know. It was the weirdest thing. They were like a dad rock reunion. I don't know. It was so weird.
That's kind of how like Green Day was dressing in the beginning. Remember when Green Day first started and they had, like those fully like a button shirts with like the collar?
Not like the When I Come Around video.
Yes. That's
I
how
don't know.
they
They
started
were
like in
just
the
like that
beginning a little bit.
SoCal kind of punk
Yes.
scene a little bit, you know.
And then they had like those like black, like business looking slacks on.
They were just dickies.
So they very much kind of had that look to them too that you would not expect. Like as soon as they started singing, you would not expect what came out their voice. But those are local to your area, those bands?
The first two are. The other one, well, Tomb Mold is from Canada, and I'm
Okay.
not sure where the other band was from, but yeah, I've been wanting to see those bands for a while.
Give me karaoke any day.
Yeah,
You can have it, James.
I don't think she'll do karaoke again. I think that she really liked the idea of the game that we played last year. That'll probably be what we do again this year.
Oh no, bring back karaoke. I
You're
love
gonna get
sitting
up there
there
and sing.
listening to people.
She said she likes
I think
listening to people.
I do. I think some of them just make such fools of themselves. It's funny.
But
Well, that's the whole point of
did you hear
karaoke.
what Dustin asked you? Dustin asked
Exactly.
you if you're gonna sing.
No,
Even if you
no
went up
one
there
would
with
want that.
somebody?
No,
Yeah, but it's for the fun of it.
you're right. It's more fun to sit and listen for sure.
Oh, I
I'm
see.
with
Good
you,
name that
Evelyn.
soon, Evelyn
I
saying.
had a
I,
lot of fun doing that whole game anyway. It was fun. Your husband was
Mhm.
on my team.
he's good. He knows a lot of music.
I know, and I love your husband. He's cool. What happened to
I
you?
kind of do too sometimes.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you, Lisa.
Oh, I am not good with name that tune. I like the karaoke better.
See, I'm not the only
So for
one.
everyone that's mentioning they like karaoke or they've done karaoke, do you have a go-to song or a go-to genre that you do?
Oh,
Chandra
Would be
loves
because we like
karaoke.
it
interesting to
doesn't mean we
know.
sing it.
No, but I'm
We just
saying
like
like I
listening.
would love to know like because there's so oh my gosh, there's so much music out there. Like even like the newer karaoke bars, have you seen? They have where you can basically pick up like anything off of the internet and it'll show you the lyrics for it. So you literally have the internet at your fingertips of
Right.
what song you want to choose.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Scott. Welcome, welcome. Good evening to you as well. Hope you've had a wonderful week. And who won the name of that tune last year?
Debbie's team,
Yes.
because they cheated.
We were right in the middle of the pack. I think we did a lot better.
You hear
They
that,
cheated.
Deb?
There
You
was
hear that,
5
Deb?
on the team. Most 4 teams had 4. There was 5 on their team.
Oh,
They
one
cheated.
extra person,
See?
Cindy.
They cheated.
One extra person.
Hi, Jen.
Jen, first time here. I have been doing ketovore for a year and working out 2 hours a day. I saw my dietitian 2 days ago and I've gained 8 pounds in 2 months. I'm eating around 1,300 calories a day.
Okay,
And
you could have gained muscle if you're working out.
yes, yes.
I did when I started keto, 22 months to lose 100 pounds. I didn't
Mhm,
exercise one little bit during that. And
mhm.
I was limiting it to like 1,200 calories a day.
Well, I have a
Right.
question with the 1,300 calories a day. Are you eating to satiety or are you eating to a calorie count? Because I would say
Mhm.
13 seems awful low,
It is, yes.
especially if you're doing 2 hours of exercise every day. I think I would say, like, even for someone like me, my size, my resting calorie burn is 2,500 calories a day. That's just me laying in bed all day. So if I get up and start doing
Right.
anything else, I can probably be 35, 4,500 calories in a day
Mhm.
just by living.
But that's what I was saying. I had put my macros at 1,200 calories, and then Debbie helped me out here because you helped me set it up. 10% carbs, 60% fat, 30% um, protein.
Oh, for your macronutrients.
Yes. And I mean, and I was eating till I was full, and I was only eating 2 meals a day all the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah, because that would be my main thing because you are eating, so clean. I mean, if it is simply just meat and veg,
Mhm.
that is a lot of workout time, 2 hours a day, especially depending on what type of workout are you doing. Because if there's a lot of like cardio, weightlifting involved, that definitely is going to cause a surplus in muscle.
Muscle
Um,
mass.
exactly. And as we all know, muscle weighs more
And she
than,
said that
than
she's
fat.
had a gastric bypass, has gastroparenesis, so she
Let me
can't
go
eat
down
volume.
further.
You're jumping ahead.
Well,
Let me
she's
go down.
responding to
Yeah,
it.
because
I know.
this is additional information. Yeah. Okay. So I cannot eat volume. Yeah,
I'm with you.
I definitely, I definitely
Bypass.
get that.
I had gastric bypass also, Janet. That
No veg, I eat meat and some dairy.
what
Okay,
they
so
recommend.
you're really carnivore then, because ketovore would be the veg. So yeah, so this would be carnivore. It's just you're allowing dairy in comparison to, someone doing lion diet. So I would say, how are you feeling? Is the main thing. Like, how is your body feeling with everything that you're currently doing right now? How is your body feeling? Do you feel like your body is like weak at all? Are you having any like adverse side effects? Is what I would say. Um, and I know it's your first time here. You said that you've been doing this for a year. And we also have to realize it's a year worth. That's still fairly new because we all have to realize like our bodies are going to take some time to heal. Sometimes kind of like up towards that 6 month to year mark, you start having a lot of non-scale victories and stuff like that. But overall, that's what I would ask. Like, how is your body feeling? What were you going to say, Cindy?
I don't even remember now. I had gastric bypass years ago, and they said that um, if you have to eat smaller meals more often during the day, if you can't get enough
Mhm.
protein in, that's the thing you should be. Obviously, it sounds like you're concentrating on is protein,
Mhm.
but because of the gastric bypass, and I'm not sure about gastroparesis because I never had that. Um, but yeah, just keep packing in the protein for
Yeah,
sure.
prioritize, right? Prioritize the protein, like Cindy's saying. Hello, Jason. Welcome, welcome.
So
Lynn, Sana,
gastro.
how are you?
So I wasn't sure what
Yeah.
gastroparenesis was or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So it's a condition that infects the stomach muscles and prevents proper stomach emptying.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It has an effect on digestion. The cause might be damage to a nerve or nerves that control the stomach muscles.
Right, right.
I don't doubt that because when they do
Yeah.
gastric bypass, it's such an invasive
Yeah.
surgery. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they literally cut off and staple part of your stomachs. They
Right.
reroute your intestines. It's just
Yeah,
craziness.
very complex. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Something
Yes,
I wish I had
pregnancy
never had
wise is
done.
going well, Lynn. Thank you for asking. Pregnancy wise, everything's going really well. Currently, right now, I just hit 32 weeks on Tuesday. So, not too much longer to go. So, at this point in time, we kind of have to see what baby's going to do. But my expected due date is September 3rd. So, we'll see how that goes. But I am feeling really, really great. Hello,
Hi, Joe.
Joe. Welcome, welcome. Oh, here, Sydney. I really enjoy the Ohio meetup videos.
Thank you so much for watching them. It was so much fun, wasn't it, Dustin?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun.
To hear everybody's stories.
It's
It
always
was
a
great.
wonderful thing to hear the stories.
Yes.
And it's
You know,
nice to
it's
see all the familiar faces as well.
well, it's one thing when you hear the doctor's stories and you hear the
Right.
doctors suggest what you're going to do, what to
Yes.
do, and all this stuff. But when
Mm-hmm.
you're actually face to face with these people and you're hearing
Yeah.
their successes and hearing what they've been through,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a whole
Yeah.
nother level
Yeah.
that it was just incredible.
Because it's, at that point in time, it's like it's everyday people,
Mhm.
very much like ourselves, that don't hold any medical degree. Very few probably in the community might have some sort of health profession. But for those of us that don't, it's nice, it's really nice to hear just a regular average person that just made sure to expose themselves to the community, expose themselves to the knowledge that's out there, and truly benefited from it. Thank you so much, Evelyn. She's saying, don't forget to hit the like button.
Thank you. Yes.
Kind of like the opposite of Ghost.
It's a band. I've seen Ghost like 8 times. I love them. They're a lot of fun. They're a Swedish band that dresses up, and the lead singer is Swedish but talks to the
No.
crowd in a Italian accent and sings in English.
Well, hello, Miss
Oh,
Dawn. You have been
yes.
missed. Holy
Hello,
mackerel.
hello. If Mike is there with you, hashtag more Mike. Definitely send a love to him from us.
Yes.
I absolutely love the two of them. They are both just like a joy together. Watching on both channels to get you all the watch hours. So sweet of you.
Yes. And I have put all three of the channels in the chat.
James is saying, I will definitely do a song, especially one that I know.
Nice. Well, bring on the karaoke.
Welcome, Matt. Hello, Cindy, Son, and Dustin, bringing the magic.
Matt does
Welcome,
that
welcome.
just well. From the Magic Kingdom.
My hubby
She's
is good,
talking
I
about
think.
she's talking about name that tune. Evelyn, they play that again this year. You and I and Lisa are hitting the hay. We're leaving. We're out.
Well, if her husband goes, he'll be a benefit to Deb's team.
She didn't need anybody. She's
Oh
already
my
got
God.
who she's gonna look up at the thing.
Oh, Scott, this is a good song, Piano Man by Billy Joel.
Mhm.
I absolutely love, oh my gosh, his concert that he did at Madison Square Garden that they televised. Oh, so good. I can do name that tune and I can do karaoke. Oh, okay.
Well, you're just
Matt,
good.
Matt is bringing it. Jen saying, I love karaoke and my genre is show tunes. Oh,
Nice.
okay. Evelyn saying I can do Disney songs really well. Yes, me too. I am like a huge, huge Disney fanatic. So
So
I'm
is
definitely right
Dustin.
there with you. Yes, he is. Yep. I'm
He's
good
on his
at
phone.
the he's researching.
I am. I'm looking up something for Sherry.
I'm good at the rock songs. Michelle is good at all the pop tunes. We make a really good team for Name That Tune. Oh, that is what really benefits. When you have your group that has like a mix of genres that they enjoy, that is really, really beneficial.
Oh, but see, they're tricky. When you walk in the door, you get a token,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you have to find people with different colored tokens. There's 4 different colors.
Oh no.
So if you and her had the same color token, too bad you can't be there.
Oh my gosh. Lynn is saying, I just made Chris cooking Nashville's noodles again yesterday. I can't wait for you to make them and see how you and Brian like them. They're good.
I replied, I'm thinking about making them this weekend. I have some chicken out of the freezer.
Lyrics are everything. Absolutely.
Yep.
We did not cheat. Only 3 actually played. The other 2 did not join in. Ah, you see? So if
Well,
anything,
that's like the poor team that I was on.
they were 2 down, Cindy. So take that. Jason's agreeing 1,300 calories a day is pretty low. Okay, let's see here. So here Matt is making a really good point. You need to get more protein packed foods that don't take up much volume. Shrimp and other seafood will help a lot. Yes. Yes, I absolutely agree. Because when it comes to like shrimp, salmon, there's so, it's packing so much protein, but then it's still volume wise, like it's very light. So those are really great suggestions. I am extremely lethargic, but I have a ton of non-scale victories. So
There's no medical
yeah,
folks
so
here. So
just like plain out advice, I would say only because you're doing carnivore, you are incorporating some dairy. Are you doing electrolytes? Because that
Yeah,
is
that's hard.
definitely something, electrolytes or even like daily minerals that Keto Chow makes. Even, Dr. Barry, he's behind that as well. So he full on supports that as well, especially for someone that is eating super, super, super clean like that. You definitely might need some form of electrolyte. It's one of those things. I mean, get like a small packet. Because I believe Dustin, you're also affiliated with Keto Chow as well, right? Because
Correct.
Cindy is.
Mhm.
Okay, so either or, if you want to go so Cindy's channel or Dustin's channel, Keto Simple, they both have, because you guys also have for the sample pack, correct? The variety that they offer for affiliate links.
what do you mean? The
There
salty
is a
for salty?
for salty,
Yeah, they have a variety pack.
the
They have a
variety pack.
sampler thing.
Uh-huh. So I
Yep.
would say try that. Like don't feel like you have to like full blown commit to like a big supply. Try it and see. Because that's just advice I'm giving, one friend to another on this journey. Only because you're mentioning lethargic, I would
She says she
definitely.
does use salty.
She uses salty.
Yeah.
It might possibly be the low calorie then. There is tons. I can't even tell you how many videos that Dr. Barry has made specifically speaking of calorie and anyone feeling like they have to be on a calorie restriction. I would definitely say binge watch those videos that he has because he has done tons of them.
Mm-hmm.
Even like some recent ones are out there as well. Amy's mentioning sometimes dairy makes people gain weight. Yeah, I mean, it could be in terms of fat, But then some people kind of get inflamed with dairy as well. So sometimes it's like that inflammation weight. And then as soon as they subtract the dairy, they're down on the scale again. It's one of those things that's kind of like, like the berries say, you got to do that N=1 experimenting
Yeah.
to find out whether or not anything that you're trying to incorporate on the proper human diet, whether or not it's going to be a benefit to your body or not. Do either of you want to add anything about this topic here?
About dairy? Well, since I started the 1st of July doing carnivore with Keto Chow,
Mm-hmm.
so obviously I'm still doing dairy. I have dropped about 4 pounds so far.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it just depends on who you are and
Who you are, right?
what you're doing. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, if she could always push dairy aside and see if that helps,
Right.
but that
Mm-hmm.
poundage gain just may be muscle, and I wouldn't worry about it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. I mean, especially for that span of a time frame, because she just, hit her year mark.
Yeah. What about you, Dustin? What?
I would say, are we taking measurements? Are we, how are our clothes fitting? Are they fitting looser, tighter?
Mm-hmm.
I would say, she says further down here that the dietitian wants her to go with 13 to 1500 calories because if she eats too much, she gets sick. So, I mean,
You just got to spread that out over multiple meals during the day,
Mm-hmm.
then,
yeah, I
because
imagine that probably be a
if
good
I
plan.
eat too much at one
Yeah.
sitting, it's just going to come back up
Mm-hmm.
to this day, and this is 17 years after my gastric bypass.
Yeah.
It still will happen.
Yeah, and that's a good point too, because like I've noticed that as well, like in a lot of, regardless of any group, like let's just say proper human diet type of groups, anyone that has had gastric bypass, gastric sleeve, like that's literally what they've had to do.
Mhm.
They mention having literally anywhere from like 5 to 8 small meals throughout the day, and for them, it's not a big deal for them to do that, because very much so, I mean, that is them kind of customizing a plan to their body. It's not like they're snacking, because they're not just taking like a little bit of nibbles, throughout the day here and there. No, they're committing to having that small portion meal. Um, that way they're able to get their protein in, um, but then not have their body feel like they're doing too much volume, like in one sitting kind of thing. Yeah, but here she mentions I have 70 pounds still left to lose. Yeah, but as Dustin said, I would, if you have not already, definitely track in other ways. You
Yeah,
might have gotten measurements because she mentioned dietitian. So,
she said her clothes are falling off. Amy Berger says, I look like I have lost a lot of muscle mass.
hmm. I want to get to Deb's here real quick because I'm going to scroll down, but I want to
Mhm.
because she's saying that she upped her calories 1,800 to 2,000 after I reached my goal listening to others, and I gained 10 pounds. We all have different needs. I need around 1,500 to maintain healthy. Yeah, and that's really
Mhm.
it. Kind of seeing like what your sweet spot is, um,
Yep.
because it is really truly like you have to see what best works for you, because you'll hear a lot of mentioning like calories don't matter at all when you're eating just like a meat-based diet, but then some can't do that. We're all going to be so different. So yes, I wholeheartedly agree with you, Deb, that it's kind of like there's so much information out there, as if it doesn't matter, but for some it's going to. It's just to see like just like you've discovered what your sweet spot was with that 1,500. It's one of those things, it probably just needs some experimenting to see. Um, but it's good. It's good that you're working,
Mhm.
Jen, with a dietitian, and it seems like your dietitian is supportive of this way of eating.
That's
Even
nice.
my mom saw the videos.
Yeah. There's something that happened. I've got to say, I got to come clean. Well, Dustin and I were both recording everybody's stories.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and my arm was getting so tired. I'm sitting there because I didn't have my tripod, or I should have brought. I
Why
had
didn't
it
you
with
hold
me.
up her arm, Dustin?
I
I
was
had it
holding my
with
own
me.
camera.
Oh no, he was on his own. I had my tripod with me, and I was going to set it up on the back table, but not everybody went up to
Yeah.
one end of the room, so we were going around. When it came to Lisa and James, I'm sitting there listening intently on everybody's, and I look at Dustin after they're done, and I'm like, damn.
Well, that happened to me. Like when she was talking,
Right.
Cindy was talking, and then it was like right as soon as she started having Brian talk, I realized I wasn't recording. I'm like, oop.
Oh
And
no.
that's what happened. My thumb slipped and hit the
Oh
record
no.
button off about halfway through their presentation. So I said, Dustin, you got to send me there so I can attach it to the videos. I said, please. And then I sent him my whole one that was recorded. So it was crazy though, because I felt so bad since I'm sitting there and I'm looking and I'm like, oh, dang it.
Yeah, but that's what it's all about, to support one another.
That was crazy.
Oh, Scott, his birthday's coming up September 5th. Then your baby can share B-Day with me. There are a lot in this community because it's Rachel from Two Crazy Ketos. And remind me who the other birthday was that you
Miriam.
shared with Miriam. Miriam from Keto Chow. They were both Labor Day, right?
Well,
I
Labor
believe
Day
that's what
changes all the time, the date. So it's hard to say. I don't know what the date
I
is, but
forgot. I
Labor
forgot
Day date
numerically what she
changes.
had told us, but I believe I can't remember if she told us the 3rd or the 4th, but I know when I told her my expected due date, she said that her birthday was like right around there. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of September birthdays. Oh, she had the gastroparesis before the bypass. The bypass was recommended by my GI doc to hopefully help with the gastroparesis, but it made it worse. Oh
I'm
no,
so
so
sorry.
sorry. Yeah. Oh,
That's got to be ridiculous. That's
yeah.
because the gastric bypass itself has a number of issues on a lot of people afterwards. But for you to be doing it to try to help something else and making it worse,
I
I hope you're
know.
seeing a different GI doctor.
Jeremiah is a good friend of mine. He actually took photos for one. I think it might have been the first. I think it was the first indie meetup we had in AMO. And his daughter, his daughter actually she's had a peanut allergy her whole life.
Oh, wow.
And she just got a test the other day that cleared
Yeah.
her. She's no longer allergic to peanuts.
Nice.
I didn't even know that was
Oh.
possible.
I would be interested to know what kind of was it a food sensitivity test or was it like a full-blown allergy test?
I
And
think
was
she's
it
got all of it because I think when they did it, they did like 1/8 of a teaspoon of peanut butter, like peanut butter extract or whatever it is, peanut extract or whatever they use.
Yeah.
And then it was like he sent me a photo. It was like an 1/8 of a teaspoon. It was like I think all the way to a tablespoon.
Yeah. Because our
Yeah.
older son, he needs to do a repeat because when he had his allergy test done, it was the skin test that they do on the back. And they had told us that probably when he gets to like his teenage years, to do like a repeat because they said that, when they're young like that, because he was at that time, oh my gosh, I want to say probably like 7, 8 years old. So they said some of the allergies are actually like food sensitivities. So they said that some kids end up growing out of it after like several years. So I'm trying to figure possibly what type of test we're going to do this time around to, try to get the most accuracy for him. Brenda's saying someday I will make a meetup. Welcome, Brenda. Can't make road trips for now. I
I'm
hear
waiting.
you.
I'm waiting till you can.
Cindy's patiently waiting.
I am.
Lynn's saying, yes, I'm glad you did those videos, Cindy. Great way to get to know so many new people and hear their stories. I enjoy them.
Thank you so much.
Yes, I agree. Stacy is in the house. Easy peasy keto. Hello from these everyday people. Love the video, Cindy.
Thank you. She was there.
Also, send our love to Ken. I'm sure he's right beside you because you both are just the cutest couple. They're always together. I love it. Everyone's saying hi to each other. Share a YouTube question. When I did my first live the other night, for some reason, I can't go back and read the comments. Any idea what I did wrong?
Okay, so basically, if you're looking at your phone, go into the video and the comment section, just hold your finger over the comment section and swipe it left. And then
Mm.
you should, I was able to find your comments from that live, but they will come in during the live when they came in live. So as you fast forward
Okay.
through the video, the chat will start to come through. I mean, that's what I was checking a few minutes ago. So it's all there. Now, if you do for some reason go into the YouTube editor that's built in to your PC, like if you go into there's actually an editor built into your YouTube studio. If you edit something, then the chat goes away.
Yeah.
So as long as you want to keep the chat, you can't edit your live. So, but I did look and everything seems to be there. So not
Oh,
worry
okay.
about it.
Now there are some, there are some live streams that I watch a lot of the replays, and the live chat is not available.
That means
Whether I
they've
watch
edited
it
the
on the
video.
computer or on my phone or whatever.
Yeah, it
That
means
means
they've gone in and edited fluff out. They've gone and edited like
Mhm.
like where they're sitting like, well, let's wait a few minutes for people to show up and that kind of stuff. They'll edit that out. And then once you edit anything in the video, all the chat goes away.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that changes. Like you literally have to dig through the settings because I've also noticed like sometimes it would have like the show transcript option available, and then sometimes some videos it won't even be there. And the creator didn't even change anything. It's just whether or not it happens to be
Well,
available.
YouTube just changed the thing. I got a tweet today from I'm and Twitter. I follow a lot of different
Uh-huh.
creators and creator advocates for YouTube.
Yeah.
So they're always digging into things and finding out
Mhm.
what YouTube changes.
Yeah.
And there is no longer a business or something section of YouTube. So if you want someone to
Okay.
find your email, you have to put your email in the About tab.
Okay. So many changes.
And that's one thing that I went in and they're making it more and more difficult with your videos to find your description and things like that, where we would
Mhm.
put links if we're promoting something in a video or we say whatever, check the description down below, this channel or whatever it is you're promoting.
Yeah.
So what I did, I went in and I bought KetoSimple.shop and KetoSimple.store.
Mhm.
It cost me like $2.85.
Oh, wow.
And so I put those up there. That way, anybody, you don't, and I just put it across the new videos that I've got. So that way, people can just go there and it just takes you to all my links and stuff. That's a thing that I think most creators could probably start doing. Something as easy as like, CityDemands.shop, CityDemands.store, or whatever. It's not that expensive. I mean, it may be like $20 a year after initial, but it's not that expensive as a whole. But yeah, I think because YouTube is making it easier for people to consume your content, but they're also making it easier if you are doing like ad reads. So if you are somebody
Mhm.
who is sponsored by a company in the middle of your video, you're like, in this video sponsored by, whatever, they're making it easier for people to just go whoop right by it.
Yeah.
Which is great for the consumer, great for the person, but for the
Right.
creator, it's not always so great. The same thing when it makes it more, and they make it easier for them to find your shorts, but in them doing that makes it difficult to find your descriptions and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So if you are a creator and you have questions, Dustin is your go-to.
I mean, I have a weekly meeting with a buddy of mine. We do a Zoom call every week to talk about this very stuff, just because, I mean, it's like, especially in the very beginning, before I had all of you, it
Yeah.
was very difficult because I was kind of the only one that I knew that was doing
Uh-huh.
this, that I had access to talk to. So he was a great resource just to keep me going, because it's so easy to kind of get flustered. It's easy to get
Yeah.
discouraged when you're making content if you don't have, a support unit that people doing the same thing as you.
But that's something I could see you doing, like, definitely. I mean, because your time is valuable, your information, your knowledge is valuable because of how long you've been doing this for. Even if you had charged like an expense to do like a Zoom type of meeting, I could definitely see you doing something like that because you just have so much knowledge about all of this.
Yeah, and it changes on a weekly
Mhm.
basis too. So I
Yeah.
mean, like, there's like a guy named Nick Nimmin. He does weekly videos, and then there's like a YouTube liaison, which is actually people who work for YouTube. But even still, it's not always clear. Then you got to wait for somebody
Like,
to translate it for you. So yeah,
yeah, there's so many changes always happening. Thank you, Brenda. We appreciate you. Thank you, baby. All right. Nothing like a Pink Floyd or Genesis concert, which have been to both.
I am friends with gentlemen who were their tour managers, both of them, Genesis, Pink Floyd. They worked with both of those groups back in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, very cool. John, welcome, welcome. Hello, my good friends.
Mr. Goodahan.
Hello, John.
We hope you've had a wonderful week. Scott says, I got to see Billy Joel in 2016 in Salt Lake City. Oh my gosh, I wish I gone to a concert in person, but even like watching the ones that were televised, he's just
I always
amazing
wanted to see Elton
performer.
John live.
Yes, yes, that's another good performer. Oh my gosh. I know nothing about music.
I'm with you, Stacy.
What about Ken?
Man, we are so far behind. Looking at all the chat, I'm like, daggone.
It's okay. It's all right. Listen, it is what it is. We are very relaxed. I did. It's still rock and roll to me before. I'm listening, but can't really interact too much in the chat. Mike is still out dashing. Carl was on our team last year.
That was
Ah,
just
so
yeah,
that was
same
the
information.
instructions. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so here she meant she does the salty, and that she's also drinking protein shakes or keto chow. Sorry, I'm a bit quiet. I'm still eating my dinner. What is for dinner? Pyrotechnics and the stage setup on Pink Floyd was absolutely phenomenal. That's nice though. Like when they add, it really becomes like a true performance.
It would be cool to see if Pink Floyd would take up a residency at the Sphere in Las Vegas. I think that would be worth the price. Like, I mean, the U2 is charging like $4,000 a ticket. Pink Floyd would actually probably be worth that
Oh
to me.
wow.
I couldn't afford it, but it'd be worth it.
Yeah, it would be worth, yeah, because of all that, the show entails.
Hi,
Yvonne,
Yvonne.
no need to be sorry. We appreciate any time that any of you grace us with your presence. Did you answer this? Oh, yep, you answered this here. Hello, Susie. Welcome, welcome.
I have never been to Missouri.
Yup, Miriam is also a September baby.
Yep.
Her and
Hi, Andy.
Rachel from Two Crazy Ketos are birthday twins. Hello, hello. I'm at the end of September for my birthday, but don't think you want to hold on that long. I don't think he's going to hold on that long, is what it is. Evelyn's sharing here. I got a picture of Dustin recording using my Sting to support his camera. Oh my goodness. That's great to not have the peanut allergy anymore. Was that from being
Yeah,
keto?
kidding.
I don't believe so.
Hello,
Hi, Arden.
Arden. He's saying howdy all. Hi, Sana,
Yay.
Cindy, and Dustin. Welcome, welcome. Hope you had a great week.
That man is incredible driving all that way to these
I
meetups.
know.
It's
Yeah, he
wow.
definitely drives a great deal of a distance. So far, I have a head count of 20 for my meetup.
That's awesome, James. There might be two more people coming with us. They're supposed to let me know later tonight.
Oh, here, I wish we could make some of these meetups when we live in Virginia and it's a little too far for a day trip.
Now,
Yeah.
Sean, I will tell you, there's a lady that comes from Massachusetts to the Columbus meetups that Dawn holds.
Yeah, she
That's
rocks hard.
you ain't kidding. So, no, Virginia's not that far.
Yeah,
it's
but
far.
I get I get it in a way because that's kind of like for us. Some of the meetups are really north of Florida. That would be like literally almost like 3 hours away. And then you got to consider that's like 3 hours there, 3 hours back. And then on top of it, when you have kids that you can't leave with anybody, traveling with kids, are thankfully like we're blessed that our boys are very well behaved, but still to have to be in a car for 3 hours, yeah. It gets to be tricky. It's kind of like sometimes you feel like you just want to rent, like a hotel for the night and at least get some rest before you have to make that trip back home. So I definitely get it, Sean. Changing the topic for a sec. I'm eating Braunschweiger. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
Yeah.
On rye. If you haven't tried low carb spins rye bread recipe, it's delicious and really filled a void. Yes, because
Really
this is
is
what we
good.
mentioned like a couple lives back, and everybody was raving of how like exact to like your standard American diet rye bread. Everyone said that it was so it hit that spot for them of what they knew American standard diet rye bread to be.
It is so ridiculously good. It's incredible. Dustin, you need to make this.
I don't
Check
even like
out their
rye
video.
bread.
What? What
I
is
don't
wrong
like.
with you?
I'm a normal human, okay?
Oh Lord.
It
Oh
is
my
so
goodness.
good. Oh gosh.
Rick is in the house. I cannot keep up with all of the lives.
Neither can I.
Me
No,
too.
nobody can.
I'm
Me
doing. I'm
too.
doing. I'm doing a Saturday tomorrow, so I haven't done one in a while. But I've got a Saturday tomorrow morning, so 10 a.m. Eastern time.
Listen, Rick, if I have to be the host or even the co-host, it's difficult for me as well. Like most definitely. Here, Sherry saying I need a YouTube for Dummies book.
Hey,
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
Sean
a
Cannell
lot of
has one.
images. Who
do
does?
what?
His name is Sean Cannell. He does. He has a whole channel devoted to basically everything you need to know about YouTube, whether it's the best cameras to get started with, the best equipment to get started with, how to do things on a budget, how to kind of work your videos and all that stuff.
No, that's yeah. That's always nice. When somebody has all this wealth of information and they
Put his
share it. I mean,
put his
it's
name in the chat, Dustin, because
yeah.
I don't know who
Yeah,
that is. Please and
I'll
thank
put it
you.
in there. Hold on.
Thank you.
So here, my issue is reducing pictures to fit into the sequence. I'm using Paint right now to edit all the Niagara Falls pictures.
I've
Uh,
not had that problem. I don't know. But I do it all on my phone. I record on my phone. I edit it as much as I'm going to edit it on my phone and into Dropbox and then onto my computer, out of Dropbox and onto YouTube.
like the
It's
sequence of
insane.
like the video, is that what you're referring to? And are you capturing these pictures horizontally? Because definitely like YouTube video wise, it definitely favors horizontally, whether you're capturing video or picture. And then of course, like your YouTube short or something like that, that it really kind of can work either way. You could do vertical or horizontal because sometimes with the vertical, if it looks like it's too cropped around the sides, you could put like a border around it kind of thing. You have any suggestion for this when it comes to photos, Dustin?
Yeah, I would use a program you can use. Most of it's free. You can pay, but I use Adobe Express. And
Oh,
it's if you set up an account on your computer, you can link it to your phone, so you can kind of go like say you can be working on something on your computer, and then you have some downtime, like a doctor's office or whatever. you can pick up that thing, like a thumbnail you were working on in your app in the phone, and you can keep tweaking it, and vice versa. I use Adobe Express. It's free, but you can't. I mean, there's things that are locked, and it's kind of irritating sometimes. But you can do just about anything you need to do with it for free.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Especially with it being free. That's definitely good to know.
I don't use anything that's paid outside of like my website stuff, or I use there's some things that I pay for, but very few because I just don't have any money.
See, I use iMovie on my phone, on my iPhone. So that's
I use DaVinci Resolve as my primary video editing software. It's free as well. You can pay if you pay for it. It's $300 once. Then you get lifetime updates. But I haven't had $300, so. But I mean, it's basically the same stuff they use to edit movies, like real cinema, big movies.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to find out what Harry and Wendy use, what Harry uses.
Oh,
He's a master at editing. I'm telling you what.
Nan, late, but hello to you all.
Hi,
Welcome.
Nan.
Hello.
Can someone put a link to Sana's channel, please? I don't think I'm subscribed to her channel.
I have, but I'll do it again.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so overworked and underappreciated.
I know.
Oh,
Underpaid
geez.
is more like it.
Jennifer is in the house. Welcome, welcome. No, Dustin will get a big head.
If it's any bigger, I'll be a Funko Pop, okay?
Listen, a lot of people love Funko Pop.
I know, but I mean,
that might not be too bad. Even our oldest, he collects them. He doesn't even open the box. That's like
I don't either.
That's how big of a collect. Yep. Then you're a true collector as well. Yep. Oh wow, Rick! Congratulations. Today is his 17-year anniversary on YouTube. That is
Yeah,
amazing.
get it.
Wow.
There you go, Sean. It's down there, Sana's channel.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Bacon tots.
Evelyn. Oh,
I
bacon
love
tots,
pork
belly
belly.
bites. Oh my goodness.
There's
Up and
Ken.
here's Ken. Hello to you all. We were just mentioning you when Stacy was in the chat. So welcome, welcome. Elton John puts on a great concert, and he was on time and gave the crowd an awesome performance. Yeah, I've watched his televised stuff, and oh my goodness, yeah, he's another phenomenal one. Don sharing and Lynette from Casey shares a B-Day with them too. Oh my goodness.
Nice.
That's really cool. That's really, really cool. What do I know? I like elevator music. So hilarious enough. I was not expecting it because we had an electric company that had to come out to change an outlet here. So the girl, she had to put me on hold. Hilarious enough. What do you think their hold song is for an electric company?
Electric
Yeah.
Avenue.
Yes.
Hold on to Electric Avenue.
I cracked up. I said, oh my goodness. My limit is about 4 hours and I'm getting a hotel. Yeah.
4 hours one way.
My limit's about 16 hours. I've driven 16 or 17 hours. I don't like it, but I do it.
Oh my goodness.
That's a downright lie. I can't even get you to come
That's
to
how
my
many
house.
well, how many hours?
No, there's a
was
difference
it?
when I'm like, that's not so there's a difference between being allowed to drive somewhere and getting everybody in the family packed up and driving to like Colorado.
Well, you guys drove to Florida, right?
Yeah, we've driven to Florida, Colorado. I've driven to South Carolina. I've driven to, all
Tennessee.
over the place. Well, Tennessee is like 6 hours. That ain't nothing.
Right. I'm not that far.
You're just in the other direction.
And she got all those guest rooms over there, Dustin. Tisk, tisk.
One of these days, I'm going to get Shander up early in the morning. We're just going to drive on a Tuesday and just show up at your house.
That's fine.
But
I bowl
hi.
Tuesday nights, but
You're
that's
gonna you're
it.
gonna see him on your Ring camera.
They'd be like, we're
They'll be
not
like,
home.
"Ooh."
Oh my
Jen
goodness.
would love to go to a meetup, but she does not eat
Not
in
eat in
public.
public.
Well, last meetup I went to, I didn't eat either.
That's right. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
just come and don't eat if you're
Mhm.
not comfortable eating in front of people.
Because
Dustin didn't eat because he was
yes.
fasting.
That, you know what? That's exactly what I was gonna mention.
Yep.
Surprising enough, there are some that they purposely do not eat because they're sticking to their fasting schedule. So yeah,
Mhm.
don't let that stop you. I mean, as long as it's not gonna bother you to see everybody else eating, that would be like the only other thing. But yeah, don't let that stop you. You'll be, I think you'll feel so comfortable and refreshed because so many within the community, they're not judgy. They're not gonna
Mhm.
have any negative opinion if you come there and you're not eating. It's just that's what you're choosing to do. You're just choosing just not to participate in the eating, and it'll be
But
totally fine with them.
not only that, when you go to a meetup, you get to meet so many like-minded people, and being
Mhm.
in a room with so many wonderful people, it's
Yeah.
just reinforces everything that you're doing,
Right.
and it
Yeah.
remotivates you, and it's
Mhm.
just so inspiring when we heard their stories, and
Right.
it's just incredible.
Yeah. So that's what I would say. Don't let that stop you. You'll still feel so comfortable.
So
Sean
when
sharing
are Heath and
there.
Shelley going to Columbus?
In
Columbus.
May next year.
We're also going to KPL this year.
Yay, Sean. Now that's further away.
So the Columbus, the Heath and Shelley are going to be going. They're doing a whole trip. They're kind of coming up through like up through Texas, through Missouri, into Tennessee, or I don't know. They're doing some whole route. Then they're going to end up in Columbus, Ohio, and Matreya's already got the venue booked and everything.
Interesting.
Oh. So Rick's sharing, as for meetups, I live farther than anyone else at the end of Florida. So I believe you were like far end of like Miami,
Yeah,
if I'm
he's
not
not that far. He's
mistaken.
not that far from the two crazy ketos.
Yeah, because they would be like Coconut Creek, Fort Lauderdale area.
Not for much longer. They
Oh,
are moving.
Jennifer, she doesn't like rye. Also, Amy,
Well,
I hate
neither
rye
does
bread.
Amy.
See, I'm not alone.
Well, they are coming out
We
with
got
a
company.
new bread recipe.
Hello, Christy, Meaning Wellness. Welcome,
Hi,
welcome.
Christy.
Christy.
Sean, Michelle, and I did a sous vide cowboy ribeye and seared in the stovetop. Oh my gosh.
Ooh,
I don't have a
That
sous vide.
I have one in the garage.
It's doing a lot of good there.
You know what?
so
I'll put you in the garage.
I have one. Brian's workshop.
so interesting enough, I'm gonna have to like read the manual, but supposedly like our new range, like the oven, has a sous vide option to it. So I have
Interesting.
not had the time to read the manual or anything like that, but that'll be interesting only because I have seen just so much around the community involving sous vide. So I would be interested to try it. I'm the type I would love to just try it, even if it's just one time. Up, and here she's sharing. That's okay. We'll have another bread coming soon that our taste testers love too. So yep, this is what Cindy was mentioning about.
I'm going to tell you, these women, and we met them at Hack Your Health, Karen and
Uh-huh.
Therese. When they do their recipe videos, it's like 8 tries before they get something right. And they have many, many testers or
Mm.
tasters of their product. And
Just like
I
you
mean,
got
it's
your
just
guinea pig.
incredible. It took them 8 tries, I believe. Karen, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was 8 tries before they got the rye bread out. The one they're working on now, it's going to be good. For those that don't like rye bread, stay tuned.
Yeah.
Andy, that's what I
And
use. I
that's
have
the
my
way it is.
phone. I use my
And a
phone and a
GoPro.
GoPro as well. I have 2 GoPros. I
Oh,
have a
okay.
9 I have a
Yeah.
9 and an 11, which is right. You can't see it. It's right. It's mounted just behind my my laptop.
I have a Sony that I haven't used yet, Dustin.
Well, let me have
I
it.
have not used it yet. I
I
don't
want
know.
You
to.
planning on
I
using it,
want one.
Cindy?
I got to figure out how
It's
and how to
easy. It's a Sony.
incorporate them, you know, because right
Mhm.
now everything's easy. It's right on my phone. It's all right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. I know. That's what
But
I got
anyway,
so used to as well as the phone.
easy is the best way.
Yes. Dawn sharing as well. Editing is the pain of my existence. I
Dawn, that's why you leave
remember,
all the screw ups in there. Who cares? You're human. Who cares?
yes, but you know what though? Even when they were doing like the Triple B and E and they were posting videos every
Mhm.
single day, I was feeling so bad for her because she would be editing sometimes like in through the night. Oh my gosh. You both were like amazing throughout all of that. Those
I would have
daily
just thrown them
videos.
up there the way they were.
Sherry, I love Larry's creative videos on Carnivore Quest. Yes, yes. Yeah, because he puts a lot of different like spin and like humor on things.
Yeah,
Amy,
I've been
I've
doing
been
it.
doing keto, then ketovore for a year. I had a girls' weekend a couple weeks ago and completely fell off wagon so much when I came home and weighed myself. My scale asked if it was me, lol.
My smart ass scale does the same thing once in a while.
And here's a little bit of an addition. I feel like I'm starting all over.
Ah,
And
you're fine.
you know what? Don't beat yourself up over it. It's just kind of one of those things. Everybody is going to choose what they want to do for their journey. If you like you're mentioning here, it was a weekend that you did.
Yep.
Um, I'm sure you wholeheartedly enjoyed yourself. I'm sure you probably don't have any regrets of how much you enjoyed yourself. So very much so when it comes to the food, it's a fine line because you don't want to feel like because you went keto or ketovore or proper human diet, let's just say, you don't want to feel like you've created like a mental eating disorder mentality either. Because in a way, we have to kind of think of it like we can't bash any foods. Even when it comes to standard American diet foods, it's not the foods that are right for us every single day. But then again, you just did it for a weekend. You have the tools, you have the knowledge to get back on track. Just focus going forward. Like, don't even, like, because Cindy had shared as well when you went on your trip and stuff like that, Cindy, for Texas.
Mhm.
And just like with her sharing, because you shouldn't feel bad or you shouldn't feel any shame about it. Life
That was
happens. It is
that
what
was
it
a
is.
hell trip to begin with. So
Oh,
when
I
we
know.
decided to eat at the airport, things that we don't normally eat, oh
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Somebody wants to come at
And the
me,
main the main thing
bring
is
it on.
you didn't get sick either, which was good.
No, I didn't, thank goodness.
Yeah, so that
Because
was
I
that was
can,
yeah.
without the stomach issues that most people get or
Yeah.
whatever, I have the
Mhm.
other issue that if I eat anything off plan too much and I don't
Right.
get enough protein in, I can get really low blood sugars.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's so important for me to really watch and be smart
Mhm.
about it.
Yeah.
Where some people would just go willy-nilly and eat whatever and then go right back on track. I cannot.
Right.
I really can't.
Oh, thank
Yay,
you so much,
Dawn.
Dawn. Thank you. I appreciate you. Sana, is the first time I've seen you live, but when you say welcome, welcome, I keep hearing waka waka. I'm looking for animal.
No, you're not looking for
Oh,
animal. You're looking for Fozzie. Waka waka waka. That's Fozzie. Come on now, Evelyn. Keep up.
yes, because animals, all the drums and the
Rah, rah.
so we could do a little bit of that too.
Yep.
When we go to Cindy's house, we have to spend the night. Oh,
So
I
when are you
remember the story
coming back,
so
Dawn?
much.
When are you guys available again?
I feel like I haven't seen him in 3 years. I mean, it was like April, but still it feels like forever. Maybe when I in March. Was it March in the Columbus meetup?
March.
Oh, feels like a forever ago.
I
Forever,
know,
yeah.
right? I can make long
Sean,
drives. It just takes me a day or two to recover. I
recover.
get it. We're planning a trip to New
Yeah.
Hampshire again
Yeah, that's the thing too.
soon.
Those long drives. The next time I'm driving to Colorado is for a funeral. Kansas I-70 is crazy boring. Oh gosh.
Those aren't the best trips
Yeah,
anyway.
Kansas on I-70. So the first time we ever drove, we went to Colorado, we drove, and we're driving through Kansas, and it's the most boring. Like, there's like dead exits. Like, you're just driving by, and there's just like skeletons of what used to be there. Like
Oh
gas
no.
stations, there's just the pole standing there and like 3 beams of the gas station or whatever. And we finally cross into Colorado and we pull off like this rest area or whatever. There's like a restaurant and like Arby's or whatever. This is pre-keto. And we walk into Arby's and I was so frustrated because you walk into Arby's in Colorado and they're playing Kansas. I left Kansas, get into Colorado, and they're like, carry on my wayward son. I'm like, no.
Now I'll tell you, going across 80 in Pennsylvania is boring
Oh my
because it's all
goodness.
flat land. It's just
Well,
like
we
the
went
most
80
boring thing.
from Cheyenne, Wyoming, all the way through Iowa. So Wyoming into Nebraska, all the way across Nebraska,
Yeah.
which is like really. And then you get into Iowa. And then we get like once we get through Iowa, we get into Illinois, you still got like 6 hours to get home. You're like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Oh, there's some really good points here. So first off, well, no one judges at a meetup.
It's so true.
Lots of us have anxiety issues, but these people are great, like one big family. And
We're
then
better
here,
than family.
Jennifer
So
adding here,
Sean
don't worry about
said,
eating at a meetup. They feed your soul.
Sean said March next year. I believe that was in response to when Heath and Shelley are coming
Yeah.
instead of May. I think
Whatever. It's an M month. Whatever.
it's an M month.
Mhm.
So Dustin answered this in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and feature the question. Amy asked, how do you find out about the meetups? And here
I
he
will
shared
put that in here.
events. Lowcarbevents.com is what he shared here.
Yeah, I don't know
Yep,
if it came through to everybody or not.
Yeah. So that's why I like to feature just in case. It's kind of tricky sometimes with all this YouTube.
You took care of it.
Yeah.
I don't have to
Yeah.
because I don't get paid enough for this.
And a lot of times,
Well,
like some of the smaller meetups, they would definitely have to reach out to get their event added, and definitely because Chris Bair handles that.
Yeah, there's a request form.
There's a
Just go
request
there.
form. So
Yeah.
just go there, post it there. So don't feel like you have to just solely like share it on like your platforms. Definitely fill out that form. That way everybody knows about your meetup. Because people are interested. Rick sharing, everyone who has lived here for a while will move to a better place. Lisa, I have a sous vide wand and I haven't sous vide in a while. Yeah, I'm interested to try it, really, truly. Canal sounded like a canal duck.
Yeah, Sean Cannell sounded like Canal Duck.
I used to love pumpernickel bread and I wasn't a big bread eater.
The Scarlet Pumpernickel.
Yeah, that was my mother. She loves it too. My hubby and I bring to-go containers for those that don't eat at meetups or for leftovers. Depending on your drive, bring containers, a cooler, and ice, but come. Yeah, that's another good idea.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's what I did. I brought like a bunch of containers home.
You saw this from Jen already, Cindy.
Yeah, I
you
did.
could have edited out
There was
75%
no way.
of my rambling.
Her story is
I refuse
incredible.
interviews. Oh my
I've been trying to get her to be on with me for like a year or two.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk about
we are our own worst critic. We are our own worst critic, but you have to always remember, who are you inspiring is what you got to think about. Because I know it gets tricky sometimes talking about ourselves, talking about our own journey, but the amount of lives that you might motivate and touch, it makes it all worth it. Darn it, my dryer buzz be back soon. Oh,
My
that
dryer
fun,
is
fun,
not the
fun.
boss of me.
That fun, fun laundry. Does your scale announce your weight out loud?
This, Sana, if you didn't get a chance to see part 4, that was Evelyn and Carl's story and Lisa and James's of what I put up from the meetup.
Yeah.
She talks about this in her story. And I was sitting there watching it through and tearing up and then laughing and tearing and laughing because they did their story's incredible. But when she was talking about the scale that Carl
Mhm.
bought for her, I was just dying. It
Oh
was
my
so
gosh.
funny. So ridiculously funny.
Oh my goodness. So what was it? Audio then? The scale?
Yeah, it would announce
Oh
your weight
no.
out loud.
Oh my gosh.
Seems like there's a
Till
setting
she
that would turn that off.
till she figured out
Right?
a way to jimmy rig it. Hi,
It's like
Arlene.
if you did not see it, I'm gonna announce it to you. Arlene, yes, welcome, welcome. Hi, Sana, Cindy, and Dustin. Hope you're
She
doing
said it
well,
was
Arlene.
Evelyn said it was so loud everybody in the whole house could hear it, not just her.
Oh my gosh. That is definitely a judgy scale right there. I have so much to learn in the editing sphere. In a few years, I'll be amazed at how much I did learn this next year.
Let me put
Being
her.
a beginner at anything, changing a diet or starting college or a new parent. Yeah, yeah. And you know what that's the other cool thing about having a YouTube channel, because even for me, if I had to go back and look at my like first few videos, oh my goodness, I was not even like staring at like the lens. I was like staring, completely out of like focus, and it was like I was all over the place. So to kind of see how far you can come when it comes to, your YouTube videos, editing, everything all together, really truly, it definitely is a journal for yourself to see how far you've come. Not just, looking back at your journey as far as this way of eating, it's also a journey very much so when it comes to like your skills, when it comes to YouTube and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, I just shared Andy's channel in the chat. She is up to 59 subscribers now.
Oh, very cool.
Yes.
Dawn sharing for that weekend trip, a lot of it is probably inflammation, and if you get right back on track, it will drop off. You see, that's the
Yeah.
other thing too. That's why they say that is the worst thing you can do is after a trip is to try to come back and jump on that scale. Yeah, no. Because very much like Dawn's saying, it most likely will be those inflammation, that water weight.
Here, Jen explains why she doesn't eat in public. It's coming up.
Up, yep. I see it right here. Arlene, you can do it. It's so worth it to feel better.
Yes.
No, absolutely. Jen, the reason I don't eat in public is because I never know if I will be able to keep it down. Yeah, I totally get that. Even like when I was going throughout my keto journey, it got tricky for me to eat out with, friends or like really anybody in public because I started having issues with IBS, and who wants to deal with that? It's like here you might be having like such a great conversation with somebody, and then you get that sense of urgency, and it's like I didn't want to, end up disappearing off to the restroom for like how long trying to calm my IBS. So I definitely get it. And that's something we have to realize too, is so many of us have similarities with what we're going through or what we've went through. So you might have somebody that is completely like firsthand understanding why you're unable to eat in public. So really truly, like everyone has said in the chat, everyone will be so supportive of you in the
Mhm.
meetups. And they would just be happy to just have you, your presence there. Not being able to eat would not be a big deal. It really would not. Evelyn sharing, sorry, Dustin, you're always right. I just had to make sure to highlight it for you there, Dustin. Oh, thank you, Arlene. You have me craving cream cheese. Oh, thank you so much, Arden. Appreciate you. Evelyn's saying, oh, Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. That's
You missed
about
the
your
rain
story
got an
there,
Africa?
Dustin.
What's going on here?
Jennifer shared, we drove through Kansas through the night during a thunderstorm with tons of lightning all around us. It also seemed like we were hallucinating. Oh no. That's never a good combination.
It's like a free trip.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Jeremiah sharing, she outgrew the allergy, positive skin test through 8 years old. Blood test this year showed negative for the Ig component. So she done a PETA challenge over 3 hours with no reactions at age 13.
Very nice.
Oh, this is So we definitely I have to get him scheduled. We've just had such like a growth in population here in Florida, like in general. So to get to any specialist, it's like near impossible to get an appointment or even get an appointment anytime soon, mind you. But yeah, I'm really, really hoping that all goes well with his test. I watched an eye-opening healings video from Alia Wells, and the children one had ADHD. Yes, so this would be Christy with Meaning Wellness. Yep. And then 2 twins who have autism from Beverly Berry RN doing low carb keto. Yes, there is so much connection when it comes to, because we have to think this is nothing new as well. Thankfully, there's constant content out there covering this information when it comes to ADHD, autism, a lot of information out there as far as epilepsy as well. So this is like information like back from history going back to when, this low carb, this ketogenic way of eating was being used for treatment for these different type of ailments. But as I've shared as well on some interviews, as well as on my own channel as well, our son, who's now 15, we were able to stop him from having very severe seizures. So I absolutely love that content is being covered. Do either of you want to touch on this topic at all when it comes to?
I have not seen it, so I know I have a
know.
grandson with ADHD, and he
Mhm.
just recently got off his meds after being on them since he was 5, and he's 19 now.
Mm.
And from what last I heard, he's been doing okay. What, Dustin?
I was going to say, Christy was on my channel. We talked about it briefly. It was just a thing she was just starting with him. And I'm so fascinated to see that it's come so far. I was
Right.
just on Alia's channel on Wednesday night.
Yeah.
We talked with all the wonderful technical difficulties that was my camera that night.
Oh man, I kept watching, and you're not moving your lips, and you're talking, and I can hear your voice. I'm like, what the heck? He became a ventriloquist.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, here she's sharing they have healed so much and they can function and they don't have all the hardships. Trying to speak with them and communicate and help them to move forward. It's just so amazing, so marvelous. Yeah. Because I can definitely tell you, it is amazing and marvelous, and I would even throw in miraculous. Because when you have a child, especially, and you're seeing them not truly be able to live like an average child of that age, that they have to really truly live with almost like a limitation compared to their peers, and to have them have such a healing victory, it truly feels like a blessing and a true miracle. And to know that it was changed by something as simple as just changing the food. Like you didn't have to go on any expensive medication or have to get them any expensive medical treatment. To know that it was just as simple as just the food, you can't ask for anything better of a remedy than that.
Mhm.
Oh, here's Sherry sharing. Evelyn, you are a great storyteller.
She is.
I love that. I love when all of you compliment one another and uplift one another. I absolutely love that. So thank you so much for doing that in the chat. James is sharing there are scales. I will also tweet out your weights. Oof.
Tweet away. Tweet away.
Oh my gosh. Here, Lisa's agreeing Evelyn really is. Aw. And she's sharing here only because this is such a loving space to share. And that's
Now,
the thing.
now it's getting gag worthy. Bleh.
Oh, geez, Dustin.
Now,
Deal
Dustin,
with
this
it.
is for
Deal with
you.
it.
This is for you. With permission, which we got permission at the meetup to record them, to use them.
Yeah.
With permission, snippets from those testimonials could make a multitude of shorts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I
That's an
mean,
amazing
shorts
idea.
are like 60 seconds, right?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can do them as like a lot of my good shorts, like the ones that get a lot of views, are like 15 seconds. Just depends on the information and how quickly you want to get through it.
Right. That would be hard
Yeah.
to take a snippet for 15, even 60 seconds when they're trying to get their point across and their story across. But you could probably, I don't know. Shorts, I don't know. They're okay.
But then you can also link the video on the short, right?
Yeah, you can link
yeah.
a full length video to a short
Yeah.
because they
And then,
remove
like,
the ability to
right.
in the comments of a short. You used to be able to put links
Right.
to other stuff, but they've removed that option. Now the only option you have is to link it to the front of the video, so it shows up on the front of the video.
Yeah, because you
So
can
they're
always
always
do that. Do they still allow for the caption as well? Because I haven't done a short
Yeah.
and I can't even tell you
Well, I
how
mean,
long.
you can do. I mean, I can do
Yeah.
anything and everything with my
Yeah.
editing software.
Yeah. Because that would
So
be an
there you
idea,
go.
though. That would be an idea. So even if it had to be like a reduced snippet, Cindy, and even like
Yeah.
if it felt like it awkwardly cut off, at least, like Dustin's saying, at least you can put like full, testimonial, click here kind of thing.
Right.
So that would, yeah, that's a good idea, Jennifer.
I could go. I mean, I could do that. It would just take me a while. That'd be a good amount. It would probably take me a couple hours.
Well, yeah, that was how many hours of?
It was like an hour and a half of testimonials.
Yeah. Yeah, but look, everyone's loving them. Evelyn, you and your hubs were awesome on the meetup video. You guys are a show. Yeah. So that would be good. That would be good to see about featuring them. I find it so surprising that the emotional journey that I'm currently challenging and traveling through, I'm happy to lose weight. Yeah, because like they say, the healing part of it is always going to be the best of the best. And then if you're able to lose weight, that's like your silver lining.
That's if you still have weight that you need to lose.
Yeah, of course,
For
yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
If you're
Yeah.
losing it because you're stressed, that's not good.
You see this here? Did Deb ever say anything in the chat about this, about starting her own channel?
No.
Because I would love,
Debbie
I would
team
love.
up with you and talk her into starting her own channel. Debbie?
Are you there, Debbie?
Oh,
We
my
might hear
goodness.
crickets on that one. Christy's son is now cleaning his room, going to school on time, and making good grades when it's a short class like summer class. The other two children are functioning high for autism.
That's
It
awesome.
is, yeah. It really is a miraculous thing to witness.
I've got to tell you, and I know Karen's in the chat from Low Carb Spin. When we were at Hack Your Health, and we talked about this also on the live stream that we had done, I think last week maybe. There was a booth at Hack Your Health called Cognitive Switch.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it when I was on with Paul Maddow last week. This helps people with, it is known to help people with dementia,
Mhm.
Parkinson's. It's
Yeah.
a ketone ester. It's an unflavored powder. Well, Karen, you can pipe up in the chat and tell
Yeah.
them how it has helped your family member. In the meantime, I brought the information home and Brian bought it.
Yeah.
You know, he has cervical dystonia, which
Right.
is symptoms similar to Parkinson's.
Uh-huh.
It is helping him control some of the movement from that disease, from that disorder. And
Mhm.
it's just incredible. It's more focused.
Yeah.
It's just incredible for him.
Yeah, I
So,
remember you had mentioned on the one live. Yeah. So
yeah.
for
So,
anyone, it's always worth trying. Like I
mhm,
say, like get, even if there's an opportunity to get the smallest quantity of a
mhm.
product.
Well, it's
We
quite
have
expensive, but
Yes.
we have a bag of calcium BHBs in the house.
Uh-huh.
It's like I think it's like 333 servings, and it was like
Oh,
$22.
oh, okay. Okay.
It's from a company. I got it off of Amazon. It's the bulksupplements.com brand.
mhm,
So
Yeah.
it's a trustworthy brand. And I mean,
Right.
I don't know necessarily the difference between like calcium BHBs and whatever else, but it's a beta hydroxybutyrate. I just don't know. I mean, I was putting it in Chandra's coffee a little bit just to try it out because I know like a lot of times you're going to see exogenous ketones like the Nat brand
Hmm.
or there's a couple different brands like you'll see like the MLM stuff that they'll be like, I drank this and lost 400 pounds in 3 days. You know what I mean? And like, um, they want like $4 or $5 like for one packet,
Yes.
or you're paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But
Hmm.
the more people you sell it to, the cheaper you get yours. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Yes. Yes. Hmm.
And I was like, well, that doesn't sound appetizing to me. So I was just happened to be searching bulk supplements that one
Right.
day, and because I'm always looking for like potassium and magnesium to make electrolytes and whatever. And I was like, calcium BHBs, $20, sold.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
so that's
you've been
definitely
using
going to be
them?
a well. I mean, we used them for a while. We don't use them now too much, but it was just something to play around with. I didn't notice much of a difference, but
Yeah.
we don't have like ADD or anything like that going
Yeah.
on. So I don't know if you had something bigger. It may
Hmm.
I don't know. Like look and see what kind of BHBs these people are using to find helpful solutions.
Right.
mhm.
Right.
So I mean, I think there's like sodium BHBs, calcium BHBs, but I don't know the differences.
And here Dawn is sharing. This is like
Yeah,
this is my favorite comical thing. Never trust a keto carnivore fart. Yes.
she's not wrong.
Definitely not. Hello, Russ. Homesick Buckeye. Hey, hey,
I will.
family.
I'll be on Russ's live on Tuesday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The keto
Oh,
cookout.
very cool. Yep. I've been on there as well. It's super fun. You'll enjoy it. Jennifer, I seem to have just developed a peanut allergy at 66. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Arlene's asking, how's your pregnancy going? So far, so good. I actually just I had a fetal specialist appointment because of course my OBGYN freaked out when I first started with them and told them that I was doing low carb. So they connected me with also a fetal specialist that I've had to see every 4 weeks. So every 4 weeks I have an ultrasound with the fetal specialist because they were all kinds of scared because I have not gained any weight throughout this pregnancy. Anytime I go there, I'm fluctuating between like a 5 to 6 pound like weight loss. So it's like this 5 to 6 pound keeps shifting throughout this entire pregnancy. But no, thank you for asking because baby is doing very, very well. He came in at just a little bit um, close to like the 5 pound mark at this point in time for me being at the tail end of 32 weeks. So thank you so much. I have the TV tuned into Dustin and my phone where I'm commenting on Cindy's channel. Sorry to be confusing. Look at her
Andy was wondering.
multitasking. with her
Andy
devices over there.
Andy was wondering why she couldn't see Evelyn's
Evelyn,
comments.
right. No, but I love how she split it between her TV and her phone.
I do that
Mhm.
all the time.
I
If I'm
I
do
love
too.
that.
downstairs, I have it on my phone. I have it on my TV. Like right now, I'm on this with you, and I have
Mhm.
it playing up here on my screen and on my phone too, just in case.
I forgot who had told me. Someone had told me that they had watched me. I was interviewing on someone's channel, and they were like, "Oh, you're on my TV," and I said, "Oh my gosh!" So, like for me, like it just sounds like you. It was you, Cindy.
Yeah, I put it on my TV and then I have it on my phone muted so I can comment on my phone while I'm watching it. Yep.
I love that though. Uh, I saw that live stream. I subscribed to her. Dustin did a great job regardless of the reception. So there you go, Dustin. The gremlins could not make you look bad.
Yep.
Up, yep, she definitely got the permission.
Oh, before we started recording, I said, hold up.
Yeah,
Does anyone have a problem with
objection,
us
yeah.
recording your stories? You know, they knew that I had a channel. Dustin has a
Mhm.
channel. So it's like they're going to end up
Yeah,
on my channel. So,
I totally get that.
mhm.
hmm Arlene's sharing here. My son has ADHD and it's hard. He gets upset easily and hard to calm down, and so have to stay calm. Just learn more about this. I understand a lot better now. And she's sharing here. My son is 35. I told him about keto and carnivore and low carb, but not yet doing it. Yeah, and I would say it's such a widespread when it comes to the proper human diet. So even for our son, I was not in terms of like super strict when it came to keto. So like there was stuff that we were like incorporating. Like he was still having some like the clean ingredient like chocolates and stuff out there. So I mean he was still able to have clean ingredient like substitutes, if you will. We just didn't go crazy with it. Because I didn't want, to make it seem to him like it was all about him having like all the treats and everything. I wanted him more so to focus on just having like the real food of it all. Because of course, budget wise, it's a lot more friendly when you can just kind of add little treats here and there of like products. It's friendlier on the budget when you could just stick to like the real food shopping. Um, but I would definitely, because I think what's tricky at first is when you hear keto, when you hear carnivore, you don't think to yourself, like it's kind of tricky to have the mentality. It's just regular food. We're not purchasing any program. You're not purchasing any particular supplements. It's still real food. It's just to, have your body just focus on those foods.
Mhm.
Um, do either of you have anything to like say about this topic? Um, when it comes to, because very much so, like I see this like a topic as far as the transitioning when you are dealing with, whatever it may be, because here we're speaking specific to ADHD, but how would you both kind of address this when it comes to having something going on and then kind of taking the approach to changing your way of eating?
Well, like I said, my grandson is the only one in our family that I know of that has ADHD of my
hmm
kids and
Right.
grandkids. And from the time he was 5 years old, and this is way, way before keto, it was like 14 years ago,
Yeah.
keto for me anyway.
hmm
Um, I looked at my son. I said, he couldn't even sit down to watch a video game without jumping up and down and just craziness. And
Yeah.
I looked at my son. I said, he needs to go to he needs the doctor's diagnosis here because he's got something going on with
hmm
him. And the
Yeah.
only way that he was able to get through school is medication because he had it bad. Well, then my son figured out if he didn't have his meds for one day, if he drank a regular, God forbid, Mountain Dew,
Hmm.
the caffeine in there calmed him
Right.
down. Everybody else, it hypes him up. But even a
Oh,
diet
okay.
Mountain Dew has the same
Hmm.
amount of caffeine. The caffeine
Right.
calmed him down.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, it does had
Yeah.
the adverse effect on him. And I don't know if that's the
Mm.
same way for everybody that's ADHD, but where
Well,
most
that's
people caffeine
interesting.
gives you the
Yeah.
jitters,
Right. Yeah.
it calmed him way down.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, okay, so it's caffeine. Yeah, there's your caffeine boost. But yeah, it did the adverse for him. So it was interesting. So that's the only thing. Maybe I don't know.
Hmm.
Her son could try that. He's an adult, so if he already
Right.
drinks
Right.
coffee, like,
Hmm.
and it doesn't work for him, then I'm at a loss after that because I don't know.
What do you got to add, Dustin?
I just think, as far as trying to get somebody to try something, whether it's for ADHD, whether it's
Hmm.
for whatever the case is, you can't make people do something. And
Hmm.
I had a friend for the last couple of years, and it was
Right.
one of the things that I had talked with Brian about. A friend of mine had type 1 diabetes,
Yeah.
and struggled for years. Would go into DKA, which is diabetic ketoacidosis, and what
Right.
that means is somebody whose ketones are 13 or 14 millimolars, whereas
Mhm.
ours will be zero point 0.5 to 1.5, with sugars that are 900 and above. So you're talking high
Mhm.
ketones and ridiculously high sugars
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
somebody who can't control them. So she was having this issue for a good amount of time, couldn't get her sugars under control. The doctor was trying all kinds of things, and never once did it seem that diet was into question. And so I tried a couple of times to just kind of plant that seed. And the times that I did try to talk with them, her and her mother, about the whole thing, there I was met with a lot of resistance. And so, I mean, you just don't push, because pushing isn't going to work.
Mhm.
You can't force someone to do something about it. And she passed away last week, and
Oh.
it really bothers me, because
Oh.
we do care about our loved ones. This
Mhm.
is the person I've been friends
Mhm.
with for 20 plus years, and you see them struggling, and you see them going through this, whether it's type 1 diabetes, ADHD, someone
Mhm.
who's 4, 5, 600 pounds, whatever the case is. You see somebody in desperate need of help, but
Yeah.
if they're not ready to receive that help, no amount of intervention is
Mhm.
going to do them any favors.
Right.
The only thing we can do as a community
Mhm.
is be supportive, lead by example. And one thing I think that we need to focus on at the greater end of our community, whether it's keto, carnivore, whatever, is if somebody comes to us, not be such a weird kind of a zealoty type person where you have to be like, well, this is exactly how you have to do it. Work with them. How can you make it work for them? They'll find
Mhm.
their path eventually, but getting them started in a manner that's easier for them, I think, is huge. So I just think, and it's probably, I'm a little more emotional than I would be normally,
Mhm.
but I just think,
Mhm.
just continuing to do what we do, and
Right.
continuing to be open and receptive to everybody in our community, and
Mhm.
not be so like, you're not carnivore, you're not doing it right, or you're not
Mhm.
keto, you're not doing it right. You know what I mean? Whether they're vegan or whatever the case is.
Yes.
I just think we just being there, being supportive, receptive, helpful, and just doing what we do for ourselves in a manner that shows as, an open and welcoming kind
Mhm.
of way, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wholeheartedly agree with that because, a lot of us, what we suffered from was food addiction. And with any addiction, it truly has to be the person that is the addict that truly wants to change. Otherwise, a forceful change is not going to last for long because that person is still going to feel like, oh my gosh, I wasn't ready. Everybody was ready for me, but I truly was not ready. And
Yeah,
I can
that's like
definitely understand the emotional connection that you're mentioning, Dustin, because it's hard for me. Like even going to the grocery store, like something as simple as going to the grocery store, I try so hard. I try so hard to not look at others like in their shopping cart and see, the bags and bags of like chips and cookies and all this stuff that they have. Like you try hard not to be judgmental. Um, but then again, it's like when you basically see signs on their body or their skin that they're dealing with something, it gets to be heartbreaking
Mm-hmm.
because you almost feel like, oh my gosh, I want to save this person because I was very much going through like what I'm kind of seeing. Like it's kind of like you never want to feel that we're visually seeing a person heavy set that they're unhealthy. So it's not even their size I'm looking at. It's just things that I'm seeing of their body that I suffered from myself. Like when you see like them struggling to walk kind of thing. Those are more so what I'm speaking along. Like I don't want anyone to think like I'm looking at a person and they're heavy set and I'm judging them based off on that because no, like somebody could be looking heavy set and still could be, a good bill of health. Um, so I definitely understand what you're saying when it's the emotional connection, but
oh,
still
definitely.
can't let it drive us to
That's
force a person.
that's like with my son who's
Hmm.
sick. It's frustrating when you're
Yeah.
trying to get to help them. Um, Back in the chat, I want to say hello to Jonathan, the Keto Road, and congratulations on the birth of your baby girl. She's so cute.
Oh,
Congratulations, Jonathan.
congratulations.
And hello, Charlie. We just kind of would buy those. And Jonathan said there is not a difference, only the electrolytes it's bound to. The BHB is the same.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I just wanted to get that through there.
Oh, were you done sharing what you were saying, Sydney?
Yes, I've talked
Okay.
about my son a lot
Okay.
and how it frustrates me
Yeah.
that he doesn't listen and he
My brother
suffered
as
a
well.
lot. Yeah,
And that's the
it's
thing,
frustrating.
tricky, yes, because it's family and not only family, but it's your child. And, when it's us as parents, we always want the very best for our children. Like we want to be able to feel like we can always save them in life. We can always be their advocate and their guardian. So it's tricky. Evelyn is sharing here. I wish I knew about keto when I was pregnant with gestational diabetes. I was strict and my stomach growled so loud at night that it woke up my husband. Oh, yeah. And it's still tricky knowing this way of eating because with my two previous kids, I was on the standard American diet. And then with this pregnancy, I actually credit carnivore, 1 year of carnivore out of my 4 years of previously doing keto. I credit the 1 year that I did carnivore as contributing to helping me get pregnant because I always suffered with infertility in the past. But it could also be just as tricky to find an OBGYN that's on board with this way of eating. So it has its give and takes.
I mean, what
Like
are they going to do? Tell you to not eat just meat? Like, this is what I'm doing. Either you're going to help me or you're not.
it's the thing is, it's kind of like they don't tell you, like, because obviously they don't want to be like, oh, well, no, you can't, you can't do that any longer. But they want to put these like little tidbits of what you should also be adding to your diet. And then they want to kind of like guilt trip you because then they'll be like, oh, well, if you don't add, these like things that were mentioned to me was like potato and sweet potato and brown rice and like all these different type of carbs because they said, oh, well, if you don't start incorporating some of those, then your baby possibly would have like developmental issues. as if like I would cause like a brain defect or something.
Well, I think that comes from a place. I don't think they're being negative about it. I think that's truly what they think. You know what I mean? I think they're coming. I think because you got to remember they went to school and that's what school taught them.
Very much so. Very much so. But to me, I think you would have almost had to be there kind of
Yeah.
situation.
And I know that
Um,
it's very shaming. I'm
because
sure
of the
the connotation.
tone. Because of
Yeah.
the way the tone was, it was very much like coming across like as if like I was like completely illiterate on what I'm doing like nutrition wise for my body. Um and then more so making it seem like, okay, well, now that you're pregnant, do you understand this continued way of eating is going to cause all XYZ issues now for your baby? Because when I tell you, I can't, I know Cindy knows because I filled her in, but I can't even tell you the madness that I went through because, of course, they're gung ho on women doing the glucose intolerance test where you have to drink the glucose drink. And then once you drink it, you have to wait an hour and then they draw your blood. I can't even tell you how many months like I've literally gone because you're supposed to do that around like the 20-ish week mark. Mind you, I argued with them all the way up until the 28-week mark that I was not going to do it because they were still very much adamant that they want me to do it. So my husband flat out said to them, "Well, what do you think you're going to do? What do you think you're gonna shove the bottle at her mouth and force her to drink it? If she's telling you she's not going to do it, she's not going to do it. It's going to make her sick. She has not had any processed sugar in over 5 years. She's not going to do it. Like, and you should respect that. Mind you, I was doing at-home glucose testing 4 times a day.
Long
They
time.
had me doing it 4 times a day since January. Thankfully, because they felt like I had to see a fetal specialist because they felt like, oh, we got a problem patient on our hands. So they felt like as if I was doing a disservice to the baby with the way that I was eating. They wanted to get the fetal specialist involved. Little did they know, this fetal specialist, such an amazing woman. She just actually retired, but she was practicing since 1976. But still yet, she very much had the knowledge of keto, had the knowledge of a proper human diet, like in general. And she was very supportive, very, very supportive of what I was doing. And I kind of felt like it was a blessing in disguise that they freaked out with me and referred me to her for her to intervene and get involved because she was my saving grace of speaking to the OB office and saying, listen, you need to lay off of her because we are visually checking up on baby through ultrasound, doing measurements, checking his full on anatomy every 4 weeks. Nothing's wrong with baby. Baby's fine. Baby's growing fine. Baby is at exactly where he's supposed to be for his percentile for every single time I was checking up with them every 4 weeks. There was nothing of concern at all. So for this OBGYN office to be so negative, like I can even like give you an example. Like they do like these tape measurements of my abdomen. And when I had seen them last week Friday, the OB, she measures my abdomen and then she turns around to go get the fetal Doppler off of the counter. And as she turned around under her breath, she says, "Oh, he's measuring big." And I said, "Excuse me?" I was like, "What did you say? He's big?" And I said, "What do you mean big? Like, are we talking about big like length? Are we talking about like weight?" There's more than one form of big. And she said, "Well, yeah, I feel like his weight is very big." And I said, okay. I said, and what are your feelings behind that? Like, it sounds like you're concerned. And she's like, yeah, she's like, this kind of goes back to like the way that you're eating. She's like, this is why, like we're saying, you need to really be careful because, now that he's measuring big, it could be a possibility that he could be born with diabetes. I flipped. And I told her, I said, listen, I said, unless you have like proof, like we did some lab work or something, unless you have proof, I said, I will appreciate if you do not diagnose my unborn child or put any sort of diagnosis on him. I said, I would appreciate if you could refrain from doing that. So it's like stuff like that. And it's all because they know from the beginning of what my way of eating is. And because I've so much like stood my ground with it. But even they've done, because Dr. Barry mentions that you can always request for them to do a CBC with diff. Mind you, they did that. And I was actually like points lower than even like what the normal range is. So, I mean,
It's just
even
that
it
it's
had to
that
go that far.
crazy thing that meat causes diabetes.
Exactly.
That just
Exactly.
It's crazy. I mean,
Exactly.
she has told me all
Yeah,
these
exactly. They
about these
feel
visits,
like
and
I should reduce the amount of meat and make sure to add a portion of brown rice, or I should add a portion of potato or sweet potato or so
I
that's
had a
it's
GP, and
tricky.
I would go and get my, so I saw this GP for 2 years in a row, and
Yeah.
both years my blood work came back better than the year before. And she was like, "Well, she's like, well, how much red meat do you eat?" I'm like, "I eat red meat basically every day." She goes, "Well, maybe cut back." And I'm like, "Has my blood work gotten worse or better?"
Mm,
She goes, "Well, better." Then I'm like, "Then why would I stop eating meat every day?"
exactly.
So like, I would just feel better. I mean, but I'm not here for your feelings. I'm here for my health.
And that's my exact point to them. I said that, listen, if you guys had me go to the fetal specialist, her checkup on baby every 4 weeks, if you guys were telling me like something was like going wrong, yeah, I would make whatever changes necessary. But baby's fine. Like baby is growing fine. It's just I personally am not gaining any weight, and that's okay. Because even the fetal specialist that has been such like a blessing, she said that is such she said that is like such a bad like myth and such a bad mentality that people think a pregnant woman should be gaining weight, because she said that there's a lot of mentioning out there, oh, like a pregnant woman should be gaining anywhere from like 10 to like 15 pounds of like healthy weight gain. But she said that that range is only mentioned, she said, because that is truly, if you do gain, you should really only healthfully gain that, is what she said. But it's not required that you
No,
gain. And
it's
that's the
just
mentality that people have, that you should gain, because you gaining in return means like you're having enough on your body or enough like nutrient that baby is able to have like a good supply of nutrient. And she said, no, that is very much false information, because she's like, no, you don't have to be gaining. And I think that's what really alerted them, because I have not, throughout this whole pregnancy, like I said, I'm at the mark of 32 weeks and 3 days in, and I haven't gained anything.
how dare you? I
oh,
just think you would think that, like, I don't know. It's like doctors are so weird. Like, I had a general practitioner tell me, like, if you want to lose weight, you got to be in ketosis. And then when I went back like a year or so later, I
Yeah.
lost a bunch of weight. I was like, "You mentioned ketosis to me, and I've lost this much weight." And he just kind of looks at me like he totally didn't know what I was talking about.
Oh
I
my
mean, he probably
God.
didn't remember me, but you know what I mean. I have probably
Yeah,
hundreds and
yeah.
hundreds of patients, but I'm just like, okay, all right.
yep.
Oh, so Lisa shared caffeine has the same effect on her.
Yeah.
Cindy with ADHD, part of your brain is dormant. Caffeine wakes up that part of your brain that helps focus. Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Deb sharing, great Dustin. We can present the info, be an example. The rest is up to the individual. Yeah. And Deb is definitely speaking as someone that did exactly that, like inspired. Because that's how we have Cindy here.
I think she got tired of being the example and presenting the info.
I don't think she got tired of it.
Ugh.
I think because like we mentioned, it's very much when it comes to family, especially that emotion connection is there. So it's kind of like you want the person to change like right now,
Mhm.
but very much so it's up to the individual, like she said.
Oh, yeah.
Jen is sharing here. I have a very long history of bulimia with restrictive tendencies. That is why I freaked out when I saw the weight gain. My instinct was to stop eating completely. I I can totally get that, and I think that is why I will definitely say like a lot of when it comes to this type of journey, any change of a way of eating, the mental part of it is huge. And I think that's really what I had to really heal myself and focus on myself because I had initially done 4 years of keto when we started January of 2019. But I would say even getting 4 years in, my mental health was not exactly where it truly needed to be. And I really felt like I needed to really get that on track, that like really truly had to be taken care of first, before I could really truly have myself continue to try to be successful with this way of eating, with this lifestyle. Um, and I definitely want both of you to touch on this as well, because when it comes to something like this and just like the mental health perspective of this, I think really truly like needs to be mentioned like a lot. It needs to have a lot of awareness in this community. Um, but I want both of you to kind of touch on this. Who
Well,
wants to go first?
when I first started keto and Brian followed me a couple weeks later, he was
Yeah.
going through something really rough, having to leave his job of 30 years that he absolutely loved. And he never talked about things, he would, in fact, I didn't know all this until way after he started and everything changed for him internally. But he would take the dog out and sit on the side stoop for hours and just sit
Mm,
there. And he admitted to me he was very depressed. And within 2 weeks of starting keto, that depression went away just totally for him.
mm,
Um,
yeah.
I, as far as for Jen, the worst thing you could do is just stop eating. Um,
Yeah.
they, like I said, the weight gain was probably muscle. If you're
Right.
working
Right.
out and all that,
Mm-hmm.
the and with the gastric bypass, just smaller meals, what you can
Mm-hmm.
tolerate, and it's up to you. You're going to keep working out. I mean, we all need to keep our muscles strong, but definitely focus on protein because
Mm-hmm.
it's just so important. But
Mm-hmm.
just to stop eating, um, I don't have any um, history of like bulimia or anorexia or anything like that
Mm-hmm.
that I know of in our family. So I can't comment on that. But overall, don't worry about the weight gain. You already
Mm-hmm.
said your clothes feel like they're falling off of you.
Mm-hmm.
That says something. You're
Oh yeah.
reconstructing your body. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just everything. But yeah, and just know that we're all here if you know,
Right. If you need
and
the support, absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Dustin.
I just thought of something just really quick just to add. If it freaked you out to see the weight gain, what I would just say also, and I don't know if it's a requirement with your dietitian, and maybe this is something you could discuss with your dietitian, but maybe at home you could put the scale away because that also might help you mentality wise as well, because that is something that I had to, because I was very, very strict on tracking my macronutrients. I was very strict about like the fasting schedules I had. I was very strict about like weighing myself. Like I was just too much. It was like too much pressure on all sides because I was not using the scale for the purpose of data. It was really getting to me. Like very much like you're saying, like a freak out moment. Um, so if you do have to weigh with your dietitian, maybe they could just weigh you and not share the weight with you. Like they can just, have it for their own records. But that's something I just wanted to add. Maybe you just need to keep away from the scale and just go based off on how you're feeling, how your clothes are loosening up, and focus on the non-scale victories. Go ahead, Dustin.
I was just going to say, basically, along the same lines, is the fact that the scale is a
Hmm.
tool. The
Yes.
scale is probably one of the biggest reasons why people quit any diet, any lifestyle there is. Because
Mm-hmm.
you're doing everything you think you need to do, you're doing everything you're supposed to do, everything you set out to do, and you step on that scale and you're up zero point 0.4 pounds or you're up 2 pounds and you're like, well, just forget about it. And I think that's just one
Very
of those
true.
things where it's so discouraging. We're utilizing a tool that basically tells us how gravity is impacting our bodies. It has nothing else. There's no other data that the scale will give you. Even the one that I have, like,
Right.
will tell you your like BMI and all that stuff.
Mhm,
I don't
mhm.
care what I don't. That doesn't do
Yeah,
anything for me. I s- the only time I step on a scale every day is when I'm fasting,
right.
and that's just to kind of out of pure curiosity.
Mhm,
But I've done fasting where, like, the last day of a fast, I've gained 5 pounds,
mhm.
and I'm like, I haven't had any food. I didn't drink 5 pounds of water.
Right.
Why, So I mean, you can have 0 calorie intake and still the scale can go bloop. So I mean,
Mhm.
it's just one of those things. It's a tool. I think it should be utilized as kind of like, okay, how am I doing by the end of the week? Because you're going to fluctuate. I've fluctuated 5 to 10 pounds in a day.
Right.
I mean, I'm a
Yeah.
big dude. I'm 6 foot,
Mhm.
300 pounds. I'm a big guy. So I mean, I know that women are going to be a little smaller. So I mean, if you fluctuate 1 to 2 pounds, it's not you didn't eat 3,500 calories or whatever a pound is.
Right,
Because
right.
even if you eat a pound of food, that's not 3,500 calories worth of food.
Now
So if
she
you eat
sent
a
me
pound of
some.
ground beef, do what now?
Jen sent me her before and now pictures
Yeah.
and she just said I could share them with you.
Okay.
She sent them via Instagram. This one was in 2013.
Okay.
Got it?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That was just this week.
Oh, wow.
So we've
Oh my
got
gosh.
before
Yes. Uh-huh.
and now.
Huge, yeah, huge
It's
difference.
amazing.
Congratulations.
Yes.
And that I think like Dustin says, tool, and having that term of tool, taking those photos is such a huge tool, even more so than the scale, because like what more of like a visual transformation can you see than through the pictures?
Mhm.
Because the scale is
That's
not it's
incredible.
not going to be accurate. It's not going to tell you. It's not going to say, "Oh, hey, listen, this 8 pounds you gained, don't worry." It's not fat you
Mhm.
gained, it's muscle. It's not going to tell you that. So that's the other thing as well. It really could play tricks when it comes to your mentality and emotionally. Because as you know, it was mentioned by Dustin, you know, some people, their freak out causes them to stop, or it causes them to take even more drastic measures where they're thinking, oh my gosh, I need to lessen my calories, or I need to lessen my meat intake, you know, when it comes to protein. Like you end up making drastic changes that your body really, you did not need to make those drastic changes. And it's all because we listen solely to the scale. And the scale is not going to be the say all be all or the tell all. Um, as it was said, use it as a tool, use it for data, but maybe try it out of not seeing your weight. And with you mentioning you're going to the dietitian, possibly see if they can refrain from sharing that information with you, um, and just really kind of focus on your non-scale victories. I would try that for a little bit of time, because that also might help you kind of heal from getting like a healthy relationship with the scale. Maybe you just need time away from it.
Yep. Oh, by the way, Sana, I like your
Yes.
shirt.
Yes, this shirt, Cindy had purchased it for me. You said you got it from Bucky's, right?
Yeah, a long time
So
ago.
she had seen this shirt because it said
Perfectly
perfectly
perfect.
imperfect. And it shocked her when she saw it with my channel name. So she had purchased it for me and sent it to me.
Pretty cool. Anyway,
Thank you so much, Arlene. She's telling me you're doing so great, Sana. You're so strong and
yeah,
being such a blessing to your precious baby. Thank you. Thank you. It was meant to be about your pregnancy. No, absolutely. I really feel like there was a really strong purpose why I ended up switching to carnivore for that year's worth. I did start to add a little bit of veg. Here, do these
Stephanie.
doctors, yes, Stephanie, do these doctors almost make you want to lie and say, yes, I'm eating everything you recommend?
Yeah, just to shut them up.
It and that's the thing. That's the tricky thing because to me, I'm such a stickler when it comes to people that lie. So for me, it's like I can't see myself doing it because I just that's like one of my things. Like I feel like every lie, the truth always comes to light, the truth always comes to surface. I'm a strong believer in that. So I get what you're saying because sometimes you just really get just so fed up. You get so just ticked off that it's like you just want, you know, to do anything to just shut them up kind of. Um but for me, I just feel like I've came so long in my journey that I have every right to be proud of it and to be proud of the point that I've gotten. So for me, I just stand my ground with them is really truly what I do.
Yeah.
Evelyn sharing, I lost 50 pounds when I was pregnant. They didn't care. Mind you, I was almost 400 pounds when I started, and when my sugar spiked near the end, I had to cut my meals in half and eat more of them. And that's the thing too, because you know what's funny? Because when I was on standard American diet for the previous two pregnancies and I was a lot heavier, um, they didn't care. They didn't care. My glucose wasn't being made a big deal because of my weight or BMI at that time. Now it's a big deal that I'm not gaining any weight. So it's very unusual with them. It truly is. Yes, son and my sisters were breaking my heart. No, Cindy, don't go
Yeah,
breaking
because
her
nobody
heart.
was listening to her until
Don't
I
go
started it.
breaking her heart. Feeling a little frustrated this past few days. My BS has so high lately.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry to hear as well. Did you make any possible changes? Oh, thank you, Arlene. She's sharing that. I am so proud of you, Sana, all of you and us. We are continuing to move forward no matter what. We're doing our best. Absolutely. Absolutely. Stephanie sharing here, you definitely have to be advocate and try to be informed so doctors don't derail your progress or set you on the wrong path. Look at Wendy and Harry on veggies for years and not getting better. Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing too, just like, Dustin was sharing his experience. It's one of those things like we have to be our own advocate because a lot of the times the doctors, they want to seem at certain points in time like this, they support all these different ways of eating. And then it's like you might go like a whole annual time of not seeing them. And then here you see them and they completely forgot what they knew the previous year. So that gets to be tricky as well. I know, Cindy, you have a lot of stories to tell about when it came to you and your doctor giving you really bad information as well.
Well, the one that wanted me to take a
To
statin.
take a statin,
That's
yup.
on my that's on my channel. He he's lucky I didn't call him out
Mhm.
by name.
By name. Jennifer sharing, I stayed carnivore on a cruise. I came home up 28 pounds. It wasn't my diet. It was the impact of travel her lipedema potty.
Yep. Without a
Yeah,
doubt. I don't oh,
you
it's
see.
rough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing too. You gotta factor everything that's going on. Jen sharing, I have made progress, but I was in a stall for so long and seeing that weight gain was hard.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely get that because we've all experienced that as well. Just like Dustin shared, we definitely all experience those weight gains. But it's really truly about having that healthy relationship with the scale that you're able to see that gain and not have it bother you. Like mentally, it's not bothering you. You're basically seeing that gain and you're like, oh, well, I know I'm eating the way I should be eating and you keep it pushing.
Yep. Oh, like Debbie said here too.
Uh-huh. Yeah, weight loss is never in a straight downward line. It goes up and down along the way for all of us. Yeah. And that's the thing. So it's like sometimes you have to consider also when you're going to weigh because you never know. Maybe if like you're someone that weighs at the beginning of the week or even at the end of a week, you never know possibly on like that Tuesday or Wednesday. Say if you're like weighing at the end of the week, either like say like a Friday morning or Saturday morning, who's to say on that like Tuesday or Wednesday you didn't have a substantial weight loss that showed on the scale and now come either that Friday morning or Saturday morning, now the scale is showing a lot higher of a number. That also could be very well something that could also be happening as well. Like the days that you're not weighing, you could be having more of a victory on those days you're not weighing. But that's the thing. It's one of those things you have to look at it as data, really, truly. Lisa sharing, I wish I took more pictures. I hate the way I look in pictures, especially when I was bigger before keto and hated the way I looked. So I always stayed away from the camera. Yeah, I think that was kind of more so with me as well. I try to get into certain pictures like holidays and stuff like that for like those memory type of pictures. Do both of you have that experience as well when it came to not wanting to participate in pictures and stuff like that? You, Cindy?
I hated getting I still don't like getting my picture taken.
Still? Yeah,
I
but you
have
should
this
be proud of
I'll tell
how
you,
far
it's
you've
one of my
come.
many insecurities. I have this tooth
Oh
that hangs
gosh.
down
Yeah.
and sticks out a little further than the rest. And when I just talk and I watch my videos, I can see that stupid tooth more than
And you
anything else.
see,
Do you have
It
any
makes me
pliers at home?
what?
oh
Brian has
my
plenty of
god.
pliers, and no, he's not pulling it out.
Oh,
Oh my
well.
goodness.
Butthead. I love you too,
Dustin.
Dustin.
Oh my gosh.
Brat. I like what Evelyn said there. 8:42. It's just crazy.
Let me see. Evelyn. She was
It's a
replying to Lisa.
response to Lisa. Yep.
I still see myself as big, but I've come a long way. I used to say there's a skinny woman side of me screaming to get out. I ate her.
Yeah, I don't
That's
have a lot.
hilarious.
I have hardly have any really like photos of me as a, from before. I would always be the person standing in the back. I mean, I was always taller than most of my family anyway, so I would always be standing in the back for obvious reasons. But I was that, or I'm on this side holding the camera. I'm like, well, I can just be out of the photos. Now I'm not. Now it doesn't bother me as much. I mean, I'm on camera all the time now,
Yeah.
so. But I'm just kind of like a floating head, like. Ooh.
All I
That's
had was a
good.
burger patty with a slice of
No
cheese and a few quail
changes.
eggs. There's
So this
4
is the
naked chicken
mentioning,
wings.
yeah, with a salad with only lettuce, parm, cheese, and bacon bits. Hmm.
I don't know. Everybody's so different.
That's the thing, yeah. Stephanie's saying, yeah, I don't believe in lying, but then you just don't need to share your diet. The less said, maybe the better. And that's a tricky thing too, because I think more so because I have not gained any weight, that's when the food discussion started. Because they were trying to figure out, like, oh my God, what's wrong with this patient that she's not gaining any weight. So it's kind of one of those things. It was fortunate and unfortunate all at the same time. Here she's sharing, I tried statins twice and body aches all over.
Yes. Karen from Low Carb Spin commented on those ketone esters because she was on her way home from work.
The ketone esters aren't for weight loss, it is to help brain function.
It's helping a family member of hers considerably who was showing signs of dementia.
Yeah, it's definitely something to
incredible.
look into. Because on that one live stream, she was sharing a lot of very useful information when we had Keto Mike on.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. I mean, it's definitely worth a try. As we mentioned before, none of us are healthcare professionals. This is just kind of advice that we're kind of just sharing as friends.
Yep.
Because it's kind of like when you're at the point where you basically felt like you've tried it all, you've seen every doctor, every specialist. You sometimes get to the point where you're kind of like, you know what, it doesn't hurt to try. Trying to see as I was skipping if I missed anybody here. Oh, Cher was asking any extra stress lately. I know that affects sugar. Also, just having a cold or sinus infection too. Yeah, that's really good points. Arlene, Cindy, you look so good. And you all and all of your inspiration to many of us. Woohoo. Oh, thank you so much for the love, Arlene. Yeah, it's difficult because, we're definitely our own worst critic. Things that we might point out about ourselves, nobody even notices. Like even with Cindy mentioning about her tooth, look how many live streams I've done with her, and that's nothing I've noticed.
It's because I don't talk.
Lies.
I have these teeth curtains.
I don't want one of those. Thank you.
I mean, you know what? Fine. You don't like my ideas? Whatever.
Oh my gosh.
You don't like the plier idea. You don't want to grow a tooth curtain. Whatever. I don't know what to tell you.
When you mention curtains, I'm thinking of like the Wizard of Oz. The curtain. Oh my goodness.
He does have an upper lip. Look at that.
Wait.
When was the last time that you were beardless? When was the last time that you were beardless?
Probably like 1997.
Yeah, because I remember you shared like a childhood picture, and I was like, oh my gosh, he looks so different because the beard is not there.
And then ever since I've had a job, I think it was 1998, I got a job where I could grow I had a mustache for a long time, and then I got a job where I could grow a goatee and a beard again. So then I had a goatee for a long time, and it was probably this long, just the goatee. And then 2007, I cut it really short for a job interview, and then after that, I just like it hasn't been that long for this long because I used to like do like the whole cutting it real nice, neat, and trim, and have like the lines on the side, and then I'm like, that's too much work.
Look at
It's a
Evelyn.
lot easier. I look a lot cooler this way.
Look at Evelyn. Pay no attention to the mouth behind the
The
curtain.
curtain, yes.
Oh Lord.
Well, that's why as soon as he said that, it just made me think of the Wizard of Oz.
Dustin, before we leave, you got to share your nails. Your granddaughter is like so creative.
She's such a cutie pie.
Yeah, she did my nails this week, and she was like, they're like some of them are like really thick and bumpy because she was just like, yeah. There's like 3 coats of like different colors, so it looks like
That's
Lisa
funny.
Frank exploded on my fingernails.
Which is not a bad thing.
No, I mean, I'm here for it. I don't care. I went out last night. I don't care.
Exactly.
I did the video I released. What was it? The video I put out Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. I was like, yeah, I got my nails just because people will comment. Why should I listen to you with your nails painted?
Oh, jeez. That's a them problem. That's not a you problem.
Yeah.
Sherry's sharing, I know stress has stalled me for about a year. I'm not diabetic, but I know my husband has trouble when sick or stressed. Yeah, because we have to remember, like when it comes to stress, that's also affecting cortisol. So very much, yeah. It definitely would impact the body in terms of having any terms of healing or even weight loss. Jen, any stress on the body will make blood sugar rise. I just started wearing a CGM, and every time I exercise, the alarm goes off because my glucose gets high. 30 minutes later, it is in the 70s. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what you want. Your body's producing the glucose because it's making energy for you.
Energy, yep. Yeah. Arlene, I gave my neighbor coconut oil or MCT oil for her husband. He has Alzheimer's at 60 years of age. Oh, you're such a good neighbor.
Yep.
Thank you for the great time sending love. Good
Thank
evening.
you for being here,
Thank you so much for being here, Arlene. Yes, so we are definitely gonna come to a close because we have been going definitely in overtime. I actually had to be somewhere at 8, but that's okay.
Your husband hasn't been texting you? What are you doing?
It is what it is. Well, he was actually on the phone because Jamaica was also impacted by the Hurricane Beryl. So they were actually without power for like a little over a week. So he was just
everybody's good though, right?
Thankfully, everything's fine. They were out of power all this time. They just got it back on. But just like impact to some fruit trees. The roof got a little bit of damage where they have like a little bit of leaking and stuff like that. But
that's just stuff. As long
you gotta,
as
exactly. All that is fixable, replaceable.
Right.
So no, thankfully they're all okay. They're safe.
Yes.
Yes. Good night, everyone.
It's almost Deb's bedtime. So.
Oh, it's definitely mine. The great
tomorrow,
Dustin.
Tomorrow I'm going live at 10 a.m. Eastern time with a girl named Caitlin. She's not known to the YouTube people. She's been someone that I follow on Instagram and now recently TikTok. I think she just hit like 100,000 on TikTok. She's like 50 or so thousand on Instagram. She's starting at 599 pounds.
Wow.
So big journey. She just had some sort of weight loss surgery about 5 or 6 weeks ago. And she's getting a lot of attention because she's like showcasing like her stomach, like the curtain apron that is her stomach and stuff. Yeah. And people are like, why would you show that? And why don't you just eat less? And so we're going to be talking about that kind of stuff tomorrow. So that'll be very fascinating, seeing something real time with somebody who's kind of dealing with that negative energy in a space that should be very positive. So
yeah. No,
I will
that's
try
gonna
not
be,
to
yeah.
sleep in and be there. No,
It's at
No,
I'll
that's
10
gonna
a.m.,
be a
so it's
good
not
I'll
super
put
early.
it
share.
in the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna definitely be a good share because I think that's the also tricky thing because it's like you want to wholeheartedly share, but then you have like those few that will try to bring you down, and it's kind of to remind yourself to really truly be like a wrecking ball against them because people will have something negative to say about anything. Even if it doesn't have anything to do about your way of eating, your how your body physically looks, they will have something to say about everything and anything.
So I'm looking forward to
So
that. And
here.
then my normal Sunday morning at 7:30. I haven't set it up yet, but it's there. It'll be there. I'll be there Sunday morning, 7:30 a.m. like
Yep.
always. And
Then next
I have recorded a
Friday,
video as kind of a response to Chris Cooking Nashville's video last week that he and Ash sat down and talked about cheat or treat meals. So I have a
mhm,
response video about that I'm in the middle of editing. So that'll be out either I don't know if I'll release it maybe Monday. I don't know if it'll double dip on Saturday and have a live and a video. We'll see.
yep. And
A
then
lot of stuff going on.
next week we have Harry and Wendy coming back next Friday,
Yes,
and the
which is going to
Friday
be
after
super,
that
super fun.
we
We
have
have
Limitless Lindy, who
Lindy.
has lost over 500 pounds.
Yes, I am so excited to share you all with her because when I tell you her journey is just mind blowing. It
Yep.
is mind blowing and so inspirational. So definitely hope to see you all come the upcoming 2 Fridays that we have planned. Dustin, anything in terms of anything you have planned? Because I know you just got done with your fasting, your extended fasting that you were doing for the 7 days worth. Do you want to share anything in these last few minutes here? Do you have any plans in terms of incorporating another kind of plan for yourself?
Probably, I think Shannon and I are talking about kind of doing more, leaning more into carnivore for a while. We're going to see how that goes. We've just got some stuff to kind of burn through. We got some cheese in the house we're going to burn through. And then we're probably just going to go meat and eggs for a little while and but not like a challenge type thing, but
Mm-hmm.
just kind of more for
Reset.
ourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
She's not happy with her own progress and I mean, that's a whole other stream in of
Mm-hmm.
itself, but, just trying to kind of always attempt to get back to basics. We've got a wedding in September that we're going to. That'll be like a week out, like a week long thing for us. KPL and a bunch of things coming up at the end of the year that I just kind of want to be more ready for. So
Very, very cool. Super excited to see your progress and also to be able to follow along with that. You have anything to say for last final word, Cindy?
Nope. Just thank you everybody for coming. Thank you, Dustin. It was a last minute. Yes, I'll be there.
Yes.
We appreciate
No,
it.
absolutely. Wholeheartedly, I really appreciate
Thank
it
you,
because I
Julie.
definitely it was really short notice that I reached out to you with, so I definitely wholeheartedly appreciate you being here for us,
But
Dustin.
I
It's
am
always a
hungry.
joy to have you on.
I am hungry. So
anytime
I'm
I
gonna
can do it and you need me, I'll be here.
Oh, thank you
Sis,
so
we love
much.
you.
Because last week Cindy was like, "Do you want to come on?" I'm like, "I'm at the store and I've got more stores to go to."
You just don't like me.
That's
Oh
not true.
no. Oh
I'm
no.
just teasing. It was good. Last week turned out it went well. It went very well.
But no,
Anyhow,
absolutely, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Any amount of time that you spent with us on this Friday, as I always say, you could have been doing anything with that time, but the fact that you spent a little bit of that time with us, we wholeheartedly appreciate you all. But with that being said, everyone have a safe, blessed weekend, and we will catch you all come next Friday. And definitely check out Dustin this weekend.
yes. Adios.
Take
We'll
care,
see you next
everybody.
Friday.